for high rollers at the moment.
Hello.
There we go.
We were having a nice chat, and you just walked
All right, I'll
right
go
in.
back to the
Just
opening.
got
See you
it.
later,
Almost
guys.
like he's doing a D&D show.
You're the timeline here.
I'm sorry.
Do y'all ever just compliment Joe? Hey, Joe, thanks for doing
No,
this. Appreciate
absolutely
it.
not.
Happy to have you here.
No, I do not.
Look, he gets compliments from me when he gives me like a really cool item. Or something.
Yeah.
Until then, it's
Man,
like,
you're gonna
Yeah,
have
make work for
brilliant.
those compliments.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing?
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Great.
I know you don't mean it. So,
Out of all of us, I mean it the least. That's true.
Oh.
Mark is here, by the way, everyone. So welcome back, Mark. He's
Hello.
Just, he's here. Welcome back, buddy. Good to have you back. If
Thank
you didn't
you.
see, go and check out his game from last week. He did a High Rollers kind of, what was it, like a campaign 2 kind of teaser.
Campaign 3.
Campaign
That's
3
we're on
teaser.
our third one at the minute. No,
man.
yeah, it was like a prologue for because it was like a TwitchCon game, and our current game is like a level 17 4-year-long campaign. We didn't want to just jump into that for the TwitchCon game, so we did like a prologue for the next campaign, which we're hoping is going to be starting in 2023. So it was like a little prologue. It was like a little sneak peek at the world.
Very cool.
A lot of
Thanks,
stuff happened.
man.
I watched it.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
It was really good. It was really cool, and I got a big like the Twitch team were so legitimately amazing. I've been singing their praises whenever I do it. I want to do it here as well. They were amazing, like, and they did such a great job, and they helped us put on a really cool show. So nice job, Twitch. Good job.
Thank you, Twitch.
GG Twitch.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, bud. It's good to have you back, and welcome back, everyone, as per usual. Welcome to episode 10 of Mistletoe. Does anyone have anything they want to shout out? Or should we dive straight into some Dungeons and Dragons? Dive straight in?
Nothing.
Okay.
Gabe,
my life
Gabe
is
wants
so
to get this
fucking
game on the
boring,
road.
dude. I fucking hate when you ask this shit. There's
I won't
never
get
anything.
close to dying.
It's like actually getting kind of toxic, actually.
Just thrown in
I'm
his
sorry,
face.
dude. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask
no,
again.
it's nothing. It's cool, bro. It's
I'm gonna
cool.
ask again, man.
Joe, I'm going to send you a gift box.
Yeah, Gabe has been posting hype gifts in our chat. You guys, he's fucking pumped, and we're all like, "We don't do shit every week. We
Jesus.
hate you, Joe." Poor
God.
Gabe's like, "I just want to play some D&D and have some fun, you guys."
I
do
want
enjoy it
myself
once a
cynical
week.
and jaded because it's like method acting for Willoughby, you know?
Yeah.
that's fair,
And
that's
also,
fair.
you've been dealing with Joe for a long time, from my understanding. So there's probably a lot of shit going on there.
Yeah.
That's called bleed.
Yeah, well.
Let's
Yeah.
play the game. God damn. Y'all are mean.
Does anyone want to read the recap?
I would normally offer. I am not.
Time.
I think you did it last time.
Y'all suck. All right. Recap.
Fucking
Thanks.
love having Gabe at the show, dude.
We laughed
So easy.
on
I would
ourselves.
normally,
so
I would
fucking
happily do it. I just feel like shit today. So
Yeah,
Gabe, do you
I'm
wanna,
very
like-
If
offended.
y'all don't shut up so I can read this recap.
Wait. Can you like call in on Godforge days, read the recaps for Godforge for us? That would be
Hey,
great.
We have like
Hey,
3
me.
minutes of
Hey.
silence as we
In-
decide.
It'll be 4 more weeks, and you guys will just
We all
all be
look down.
silent still, arguing who gets to do the recap. It'll be the
We last found ourselves witnessing Thor's devastation on Herent. We convinced Thrud to not turn her back on her victims. Well, the victims. I read that wrong. I'm just projecting. Which led to her realizing how destructive the gods can be. After helping the people, we journeyed northward. God, I just want to kill something. Out of Herent, with the intention of finding a root portal, which sounds weird as hell, of the World Tree, which still no one has explained to me what the hell that is, by the way. On our way north to the Ironwood Forest, we encountered a group of druids and helped them recover from a fungal sickness that was basically turning them rabid. Finally, we arrived at Ironstein. There's a lot of iron in this place, an encampment for adventurers, and glanced at a bounty board before heading into a tavern to probably cause more problems. And scene.
So, in a summary for you, Mark, you had just managed to travel northward through the fen and kind of come into this Ironwood. The Ironwood itself, named pretty specifically because the trees have a kind of a deep iron to their bark. They're very hard to cut down. They're very hard to
Okay.
lumber over. And The ground itself is mostly just grass. Some of the bushes grow quite iron-like, but for the most part, it's just in the trees. They're very much like a pine, where like shavings of this iron comes off of the branches and off of the leaves, but for the most part, the bark itself is very strong. And you've passed through here. This place is renowned for its monster hunts and where adventurers first journey to try and kind of make a name for themselves, to build their saga.
Oh, it's the zone outside of the starter area. I
Yeah,
like it.
very much so. You've arrived in an encampment with a tavern right in the center. It is this land you're on right now is the essentially it's a building right on the center of a large flattened rock that has been kind of carved out. You are just walking into a tavern, and the tavern is very much a quintessential adventurer's tavern. You have a warm fireplace with several kind of cushioned seating around there with stitched together cushions and a kind of a relaxing atmosphere with a rug and almost like a coffee table right in front of it. Above that, you can see the kind of this large head of a snake that is kind of just the skeleton of it left over, resting above the mantelpiece. You see a bar up ahead with several patrons kind of around it, buying drinks from a series of kegs and tankards behind the bar itself. A bartender wandering back and forth. A big bald man with kind of a broad chest as he's kind of pouring drinks for different people. This tavern itself has a secondary kind of like floor with all of the different rooms where you can go and stay in, all the inn rooms, and just a series of tables filled with adventurers, filled with people looking to get involved in any that has been dragging people in. Be it the Kavista that has been wandering and tormenting people. Maybe the stag or the bandits. But this is the place to pursue more information about them and to learn. You would have seen as kind of walking in past you, you'd see several other groups of just people talking over it, looking at different bounties, asking around to where they have to go, and music playing from a lute over in the corner as a skull is singing tales and stories of the Norselands. So, set this in a little bit better. Let's put some tavern music on. And so, what would you like to do?
Thank you, Gabe, as well, for those extra details. I'm just putting them in my little notebook.
Find somewhere to sit and get a drink. Yeah.
What the hell is it? I went to use my background as a gladiator by popular demand to find a tavern to perform in, and basically perform for the night to become something of a local figure, and then basically try to disarm people a little bit more with the party and the companions, and then hopefully make us more approachable.
Okay.
Perform.
Nice.
Yeah, the way I imagine that is a gladiator's background for performance is fighting.
Yeah.
So, what kind of are you looking to go and pick a fight? Would you look to kind of just open a challenge to people?
Arm wrestling contest.
Arm wrestling contest. Okay. So opening up the floor to it. How are you going to get everyone's attention as you've kind of walked in there and you're looking to try to build a bit of a name for yourself around here?
Minor illusion to make floating horns appear, and then a dual cast of minor illusion to make them.
Okay, yeah. You see some people come along, and you see this kind of larger Viking man with a kind of broad, shaggy beard steps up to you and goes, "Some sort of competition? You looking to wrestle?"
I offer you a challenge unprecedented. The muscles of Mesogaia, the arms of Achilles. I am Draven, and I am here to present you a challenge. The power of Mesogaia is in these arms. Can you defeat it?
Is that a yes?
Yes.
That's all right. Yes, I'll challenge you to, do we put coin on the front?
The first one's free, so you can prove your power.
Okay. He kind of just goes towards the table and he just pushes away some of the plates that are getting gathered there and
I like this man.
Places his arm down.
Big summer blowout.
And he just puts his arm up.
I mean,
So,
yeah.
contested athletics check. I'm going to give this guy he's quite a broad guy. He can get a +4
Cool.
to his D20.
20 total.
Okay, I'm going to roll a... Oh, so to give you an idea of how I work with my arm wrestling rules, so you start off in the stationary position.
You have rules for this?
Yeah, I've done it before.
We had
He
a
does.
whole
This guy's a
sequence.
pro.
We had a whole thing.
It was like
Yeah.
it was a whole day.
it went on a while. So I do basically 3 set motions. So you in this basic stationary moment. If you win the athletics check, then you push them into a vulnerable position, and if you win the second one, you slam them. Otherwise, it's a back and forth going up. You get a natural 20, you go 2 positions, so you win, or you lose with a natural 1. So
Awesome.
13. As you grab hold of his arm for the first time, he tries to push against it, and you feel like he's got a lot of just kind of almost strongman strength. It looks a little bit overweight, but then you realize as his arm kind of pushes over,
Yeah.
bulging muscles, but you manage to hook it, and your technique is better, and you push him back down. He's now in a vulnerable position.
Oh, yeah.
Go again.
Boo. 12.
17.
Oh, shit.
He pushes you back up to the stationary position. A crowd starts forming as they realize this is a competition. And you start to see people kind of gather. Pretty good. Now let me try.
Come on, Draven. Come on.
To be a 14.
17.
Yeah, come on, Draven.
He goes back to that vulnerable position again. Once again. 17.
24.
He tries to push, and you feel there's a decent amount of strength, about as much as you gave it last time. But then you find it within yourself, and you slam it down. He pulls his arm back. I don't understand. I am bigger than you.
Yes. But you took on all of Mesogaya. So you did well, all things considered.
He starts rubbing his arm. Well, then let's get it. And then you see him, someone kind of place a hand on his shoulder. No. You don't get a rematch. I get to fight him. And then you kind of push him aside, and you start to get a crowd.
I'll just do this all night.
Kind of crowding up. I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make my voice a little bit louder, and I'm gonna be like, "It looks like this Mesogayan is very strong. I wonder if anyone here can beat him."
I'll give me a general you give me a performance check, Lena, to see how much you kind of ate it. But then
I'm super good at those.
For you, Draven, for the sake of just going after opponent, and you start this kind of
23.
Oh, nice! Yeah, people start to I could beat a Mesogayan any day, and they start kind of pushing aside each other and building a crowd. Give me a performance check from you, Draven, and an athletics check, just to see how you do for the general midst of things. And if you do well enough, you can battle the best person in the tavern.
16 performance.
Okay.
10 athletics.
With a 10 athletics, I would say that at some point during the night, you do get a lot of wear and tear.
Yep.
You are battling different opponents. You're starting to get your name for yourself. That you're being called this kind of the Mesogayan challenge. It's becoming like a thing without the tavern. People are getting up from their tables to try and come over and challenge. But you see as stepping through with ice cold skin and kind of almost like a beard that almost is shaped almost like icicles going down. You see this Goliath. It's a party Jotun, and he steps aside and just, I go next, and just sits down with a weighty thump in front of you, and he puts out his big hand.
I clasp it, and in giant, I say, would you like to win to spread your fame even further?
I beat the Mesogayan.
But I'll give him a good show.
Yes. Try your hardest. I'll try not to break you.
That's
he
what Thrud
smiles.
said.
And then speaks back in giant and says, Thrud, to hell with the family of Thor. And then
To hell's with them.
he tries to push back into your arm. He is going to have a
Yeah.
+9.
Jesus.
Fine.
Thanks.
But he only rolled a 12.
Come on, Draven. We believe.
Okay.
This is where you want the natural
is-
20.
Yeah, this is the
Bam.
biggest guy in here.
14. But Bane, so I roll a d4.
You do
Shit.
roll a d4.
Come on.
So 12.
Equal.
You realize if you felt a little bit stronger as you did earlier, you would have been able to push him back in this position, but you are deadlocked right now in the center. Push again. 23.
Shit.
23. Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Draven, come on. Net 20, net 20.
I'm going to tell the rest of the party. This is Gabe saying it. Shit's going to get really bad really fast.
What the hell does that mean?
Oh, of course it is.
I like to see Cletus just like kicked
Yeah.
back, leaning back with a drink, just watching it. Like,
So I'm going to do
Gabriel.
I'm gonna do two things, Joe. One,
Okay.
I'm gonna roll the athletics check. Two, I'm going to say in giant, fail, and cast command.
Okay. Let me just see.
So
Come on,
that's a 10.
Is it a wisdom saving throw?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give this guy a +2 to his wisdoms. Because I don't imagine he'd be super wise. Well, actually, with his proficiency as well, so +4.
Cool.
So. Does a 14 beat your DC?
15.
And he just goes, "Oh," and just like you see his arm slam down, and people are like, "He just beat a Jotun! He beat a Jotun!" People are like tapping each other. Did you see that? People are just kind of cheering. You start people start trying to pick you up, Draven, and you see him kind of look down.
oh no.
Remind me, command. They know they've been commanded, right?
Let's double check.
I like the fact that Gabe's checking this after the fact.
What did it actually say?
Yeah, it doesn't say they actually know.
If it doesn't say,
Says neither
then
way.
I'm pretty sure it's okay. So, kind of looks
My
down to
only
himself.
component is verbal.
And kind of just looks down a little bit sadly, and then people are just all focusing around you. And he just gets up and pushes some smaller people out of the way and just walks back to his table. His group just start like laughing, making fun of him. You just see him turn, just punches one in the face, just trying to prove his prowess, and just sits there, just punching the table a little bit angrily, not understanding why he just lost.
The last thing that Draven does is he actually goes over to the table.
Mm-hmm.
He buys the Jotun a drink
Okay.
and then actually talks down to the party members who mocked him. Because he talks about the fact that he went toe to toe with the Grendel and won. So the fact that this person gave him a challenge shows they were stronger than anyone else in the tavern, and none of his cohorts took to the challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And
He'll
you can
basically
see
defend his honor.
There's a moment where he just kind of looks up and he goes, "Metal guards aren't so bad." He drinks down his drink, and you can see the moment you kind of leave away from that table, you immediately hear the same ones that try to mock and joke around with him are suddenly being like, "You nearly took down someone that took down the Grendel. Did you just hear about that?" And they start discussing the kind of tale that's slowly circulating its way up north, but no one really knows who's done it.
If I'm going to cheat, I'm at least going to make them feel good about it afterwards.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. But yeah, your gladiator background kicks in. People are starting to talk around about you as the kind of meso guy and challenge guy, the arm wrestling guy, the one who's tough.
I'm here for it.
And some people even mentioning the Grendel. So, yes, your background is successfully kind of activated in a sense, and people are impressed. But during that kind of probably good 30 minutes or so of just entertainment and talking and whatnot, what's everyone else doing? What are you all trying to achieve?
I would definitely try to talk to some people and ask about the shadow monster
Okay.
and the bounty that was allegedly up for it that I didn't see.
Yeah. Okay. Over by who would you just go and ask a random adventurer? Would you go to the bartender?
Ask the bartender first.
Okay. You see, the barkeep kind of looks at you. One moment. I can ask about it. That thing is. We don't really know much about that thing, but I'll get Chester. And he kind of walks off to one side, and you see a gnome step around the corner. He's got
Hell yeah.
a long kind of goatee, and he looks very kind of chiseled jaw for a gnome, and quite like clearly works out. Very kind of muscular body. He steps up. He's wearing like a long kind of chef's apron, and he climbs up on top of a stool and steps over and leans on the table and goes, I heard you were asking about that shadow creature.
I am.
What kind of interest you got in that thing?
I would prefer if it were dead.
So would most. But we don't have a bounty for that anymore. It hasn't been seen in months. You could
So when it disappears, you remove the bounty?
pretty much. We only put up the bounties for the stuff in our area. We don't have people going out hunting for miles and miles, but if anyone is interested in it, the most... Well, he kind of points to one corner where, in a shadowed kind of corner, someone is drinking a drink alone, wearing long kind of black sleeves with a glove on, a hood half up, sat there with a kind of cloak around his shoulder, just kind of sipping and stirring his drink with a small spoon. That's Strawn over here, though. He was part of the adventuring party that lost it. He could help you
That's
out.
very helpful.
Of course.
Thank you. I turn around and just zip to that person. Hello.
Hello?
I have some questions.
When he looks up, you see that his skin is like a shade of reddish yellow, like fire. And you can see that his kind of eyes have slight embers in them. You would know, being from here, he's a Muspellian, which are basically almost like the equivalent of fire genasi in this area. They are people that come from Muspelheim, were born in Muspelheim, and have taken on an elemental aspect to them. So kind of humanoids that represents fire. If this is your table, I can get a different one.
No. I just wanted to ask you, last ones to hunt this shadow creature that has not been seen in a while.
Aye.
Could you tell me what you know? I put a silver down.
Are you a family member of one of them? I tried my best. We couldn't kill it.
Family member of who?
One of my party.
No.
Oh. Are you looking to hunt it?
Yes.
He takes the silver. Thank you for this, but we came through here. We were looking to be involved in some sort of adventure ourselves. Get involved in some of the bounties here, earn some coin. Some of us could fight, and others were good at tracking, so... We came here, and there was a bounty up for this. A creature made of pure shadow, with eyes that would appear when you look at it. And we picked it up. It was a considerable bounty. They said it was harming creatures and attacking elk and deer and boars in the woods, so... We pitched ourselves against it, and we look at it. We're not looking for it. We'd done one bounty before that, a larger boar. It wasn't much gold, only 80. So we went after this thing. It wasn't right. We came across this creature in the midst of... It was in the northern part of the woods. And as we grew closer, it grew darker. It was the middle of the day, but it just... Something was wrong. Like it was draining the sun. But we just assumed that was part of its monstrous capability, I don't know. We approached it. We fired arrows at it. And it just moved so quickly. One moment it was there, and then it appeared in a shadow near us. And I heard one of my friends scream. And it started feasting on him, but swords would go through it. As if it wasn't there, like it was made of shadows. I stabbed it in the back, and its eyes disappeared and appeared at the back. And it's like its body just twisted almost in an instant. My friend came in the way of me, and it killed him in a moment. It killed one by one so fast we couldn't do anything to it. And then when it touched me, it seemed to ripple away from my skin. Like it was in pain.
Oh.
For the first time. And I saw it back away from all of the dead. And cold. Peak. With blizzards around it, and the shadow creature was climbing it. Up and up. All the way to the top. And when my eyes came back, it was gone. And I looked down, and then this, and he takes off his glove of his right arm. And he pulls the sleeve up, and you can see his hand is skeletal. And his arm is mostly rotted off all the way up to the elbow, and it started to rot up towards his shoulder. It's been getting worse. But I don't understand. I'm not bleeding from it or anything. It just... Whatever that creature was, it was cursed. And worse than that, when we fought it, afterwards, all of my friends were cold. So cold, like they were made of snow themselves. Like they were down in Helheim. Banished. We burned them in case they turned into Draugr. And then other parties went out looking for it despite my warnings. It was gone. No one found it. So they took the bounty down, but that creature's still out there.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I'll put a gold on the table. Thank you for
kind.
your information. It's very helpful.
Of course.
Forgive me, your Muspellion?
I am. I was born in Muspelheim. I was a baby when I left.
The one time I saw it, it was, I threw a torch at it, and it ran. A lit torch. It causes cold. It appears to be headed towards somewhere cold. It did not like touching you.
No.
Interesting and very helpful.
Thank you for the
I suppose
gold.
I need to find this mountain. Yes, good luck.
Thank you.
I wish I could help you more.
No, honestly, this will buy me a few more nights of drinks and a good bed. That's more than most people have done for me in a little while, so thank you.
Mm.
And good hunting. turns to stir in his drink.
I go back to Lena. Or wherever I can find her.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I learned quite a lot, actually. About this creature, I think we need to look for a mountain shaped like a horn with a hand jutting out of it. Blizzards, cold, ice. I think that's where it's headed. Or is.
A mountain shaped
And
like
it
a
definitely
hand.
does not like fire.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Like a hand coming out of the mouth at all to either of us?
It'd be quite high, because I imagine
I'm
it's
super
probably
mad
not
at
somewhere
those.
you necessarily know of.
16.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, look at that. Double
Yeah.
16.
Also 16.
I mean, it's safe to presume mountains of pure frost and cold.
We know that we should be able to make lots of fire. That is good. This is good information.
Yeah, I was just excited at the possibility of finding it sooner than I expected.
Yes. That would have been nice, right? Well, I mean, not nice for the people around here, but it would be very neat for us, I guess, if you had been. And here it is, and we take care of that.
Yes, but it also sounds quite terrifying.
Well, he made
So-
it, right? The one you were
Yeah,
talking
well,
to?
he's basically
okay.
made out of fire, and he's not really okay. It kind of seems like he's cursed.
Oh,
Where it touched him, it seems to be rotting away.
okay. So, a mountain like a horn. It is frozen. It has a hand coming out of it.
Uh-huh.
It's a monster made of smoke. It is afraid of fire, and if it touches us, we might
Rot away or
be
just
cursed and be
die
so
and
just
turn to
don't.
ice.
That is okay. We will not let the smoke touch us. We will be fine.
Okay.
It will be okay. We will figure it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Do you feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You feel okay after all the Thor and Loki and
I kind of look around to see what everyone's doing, and I assume everyone in the tavern is kind of watching Draven.
Yeah, that's what we during the. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll look over to make sure that he's okay, and he's fucking winning arm wrestling left, right, and center. So I feel pretty good. And I'm gonna look at Eldred and Eldred hears in her head. It wasn't what I expected, but information is always good. And I think that you know more than most that I'm not really too fond of Loki most of the time either, so it is his thing. It is what he does. I will figure it out.
yeah. I wonder how he will respond to being called out by us. That's not something that I think happens to him frequently.
He's really fickle. So, if we are lucky, he forgets. He finds a new shiny thing, told us something else to piss him off, and he runs after him. We will see, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willoughby and Juno, what are you guys doing during the whole event?
I'm See, what I'm immediately curious about is, has anyone been giving Willoughby some weird looks off of that wanted poster for a different Kvistier in the area?
Yeah,
Ring
you
around
definitely.
you, just like
Yeah, you definitely get like you've had a couple of times, almost like a celebrity going out to eat. There's a couple of times you've seen a couple of people just like look down at like the bounty and look across to you when you like match eyes, go back to what they're doing, and like some people like whispering, but no one's coming up to approach you.
I think Willoughby specifically would be very curious about this Kvistier thing and would be looking for whomever may know the most about that, or the person who posted that bounty specifically and would have the most details regarding it.
Okay. Yeah, during the whole thing, if you ask around, you'd learn that there is a man named Ivan. Ivan the Two-Eye. He is over to one corner. He has his own kind of station, and he's got his own kind of like repeated bounty board behind him where it has the active bounties up, and he has some scrolls around him. And he's sat there with like a violin on the table, a lute on the table, a flute, and you'd learn that here in this tavern, all of the bounties are posted by the tavern. And the tavern kind of runs the general bounty hunting of the area. And Ivan's job is there to kind of tell you the stories of each of the bounties, so you get a bit of a knowledge for what you go on to do. So he sat over in the corner. You'd see this kind of very handsome man, a much deeper tan than someone who usually lives further north in Midgard, with a kind of very well-kept beard, his kind of hair just pushed aside like a soft brown hair, kind of smoky eyes, and he sits there, and you can see that one eye is blue and the other one is brown. And he sits there and he's talking to a group that's just come in. And you can see one of the guys who's just come in has a series of these left hands and just puts them all on the table. These just kind of like gnarled hands. And he goes, "Oh, sorry, fella. You meant to take those over to the back. I don't actually hand out the gold of the bounties." Oh, you see this Dragonborn just kind of pick up all of the hands, pull them over his shoulder, and walks back past you and around. And Ivan sits there looking across. "Hello, friend."
Hello. I was just coming on over to ask you about the
Yeoman bait,
insane.
I imagine. Yes. Yeoman bait, I imagine, yes? It's the most popular bounty right now, but most people haven't gone out to try it yet. They're still picking up supplies.
Which one's that, Joe? What is he?
It didn't
what
say.
is he?
It didn't
just
say the
some,
thing.
just some.
No,
Yorman butter?
Yorman
bait.
butt? Yorman.
Giant bait, monster bait, essentially.
I do not care about that bounty at all.
Oh.
I wanted to ask you about the insane Kvistier killing people in the woods, actually.
That makes sense. The most interesting story behind it, but hold on. And he kind of pulls over the paper and goes, What does one do? What does one do when they travel the woods?
Skip this.
And
Let's forward. We're gonna move.
Hold X to skip.
Yeah, Willoughby smashing that skip dialogue button.
skip this. Sure.
The BM of the DM's lore. I love it.
Look,
So
that's the
funny.
-2 charisma Willoughby. Does not care.
Right, no, that's fine. What would you like to know? The Kvister
funny.
itself. Well, it is. Listen, mate, it's killing people. There's a tree out in the woods.
Listen, mate.
It's up for bounty at the moment. There's been a few deaths from it. Mostly, it hasn't harmed any nature, so there's that. Not animal killings. It has killed though a couple of merchants. So know about it. It's not really the ones. It's a newer one. We don't know much about it, but you know. Sure. You want to go and kill it, get the money, get paid. No one's seen your story.
Man, you really set up that story, huh? You seem to be... All right. Well,
my
look,
job.
the thing is it is it an old model like me, or is it a new one that was created more recently? These things matter.
I don't think anyone said. He kind of looks through the paper. No, I mean, I won't give you the full story, but the story is that what if one of the trees came alive? Is kind of the general gist we've gone for. It doesn't say about old model, new model. It looks like a tree. I don't know if that's offensive. It's a tree like you are, according to the description. It's. I don't know. We don't get many Kavista through here.
Okay, well, this has been very, stand up and turn around and go back to the group.
Been so wonderful.
You want to know where it is?
I'll find it myself.
Right. Fantastic.
I fucking love Willoughby.
I
love this grouchy old tree. I love him.
You hear someone kind of come behind and go, I wouldn't mind hearing that story. It's a fuck off.
You could tell me.
Just sits and drinks.
You ruined that dude's whole day. He's not gonna tell another story all day long.
How about yourself, Juno? What have you been doing?
I think Juno, following, I mean, obviously I wasn't here last week, so I don't want to go over too much, but like with everything that happened in Herot, and from the sounds of it, it was kind of a bit of a, eye-opening scenario. I think that, Juno's been pretty quiet, maybe very just quietly drinking, while Lena and Eldred have been having this sort of more quiet conversation, and the crowd, she kind of cheered Draven on for the first match and then maybe pulled away a little bit as he's now continuing doing with the other matches and the Frost Giant and stuff. And it's just been sort of just people watching, I think, just kind of like watching everything that's going on and taking it all in and trying to sort of get a vibe of like this other place in Midgard and like trying to learn a little bit about it. But like nothing like too intensive, I don't think, at this point. I think she's mainly trying to, or I'm trying to mainly get to grips with a few things that have been going on, and also Juno's place in all of this. I think she doesn't really know what she's doing or why. Yeah. So it's a bit sort of like, trying to figure that stuff out. I'm kind of watching what everyone else is doing at this point.
Give me like a general insight check.
Sure.
If it's lower than your passive insight, I'll use your passive insight. But as you're just kind of sat there watching for the duration.
22.
Yeah, you've people watched plenty. You're a good read on people, and as you kind of sit there and watch around the tavern, you realize that though the Adventurers Await is very much for groups of adventurers and groups of people meeting up, that for the most part, 90% of the people in here aren't actually capable of doing any bounties. Like it's a lot of people with the hopes and aspirations of it who are coming along to pick up any small bounty they can get. Hoping for any of the smaller ones to be posted. They buy a lot of the kind of general materials. They get their Dungeoneer's pack. They get all the pistons.
They buy their 10-foot pole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they get their rope and everything. But most of them aren't really moving on from there. You can see very few people have picked up the Jormunbait one, or if they have, it's mostly there as a show of like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about doing this, but doesn't really go further than that. Only a couple of the groups, like you occasionally see like a merchant who's hiring mercenaries here, or only a couple of the groups actually look like they could be capable of doing bounties. And one of them was the Dragonborn trio that brought in the group of hands for the bandit bounty. But even then, people pick and choose. It seems to be a place where, and from what you can hear from general conversation, every month there's new bounties listed, and they talk about different creatures or different things that pass through. And for the most part, people just like being around adventurers. They like trying to hear about experiences that they might never have. So you realize that most of the bounties here are pretty free reign for you guys to pursue, and that a bounty party, an adventuring party like yours is a real one.
Kind of rare.
Is rare. Yeah. A real one is rare.
Cool. Okay. What's this Jormunbait bounty? Because like I don't know, I didn't see. I don't know if that's one. I'm just not.
Yeah. So I can play off the same insight check. If you've heard people talk about it, you can hear some people mention that. That is the one with the most gold currently.
Is that the sorry, I was just trying to
creature.
refer.
Yes.
Lake water creature.
You
yeah,
hear people
okay.
kind of mentioning like, oh, it's known to drag you down into the lake, and you never come back up. But no one really knows the story of it. You get like glimpses of people say the way Ivan tells it. It's big, but nothing. People kind of don't retain the story as well as a Skald does. But you piece that together. That's the most expensive bounty on the list right now.
And it seems that most people are avoiding it.
Yeah, I would say with your insight check alone, you can see that anyone who's really talking about it is very much doing it to show off to the friends, like, oh, yeah, I'll kill that thing, but I'm really busy this weekend, kind of very, like, nonchalant.
Yep.
But for the most part, seems... Yeah, exactly. I've just got so many other bounties on my plate.
I'm washing my hair.
Cool. I think like until like the others come back or finish doing stuff, like Juno will just sort of keep, or I will just keep an eye on things and looking around and just bit contemplative.
Cool. Well, Willoughby, you would return to the group at the same time as Draven's just come back from the Giants table. Eldred and Lena, you've also just kind of finished up your conversation as Juno's. Now you notice that your friends are kind of free, back together as a group.
I will say that one thing Lena would have done while Eldred was talking to the Muspellian question mark?
Muspellian.
She would have just kind of looked at the people in the tavern and just kind of studied each one for a few moments. Maybe every once in a while you'd see her eyes flash black very quickly and then flicker away. Just kind of looking around just at people.
Okay.
Well, that's it. And then Eldred comes back and they have a chat.
Okay. Cool. Well, your group is reunited. What'd you guys like to do?
Raven. That's good, huh?
Yes, I have drank so much.
They gave you like 3 names. You're the Mesogayan challenge guy was one of them. What else did Joe say? Shit, I forgot.
You can make some up.
Mesogayan challenge guy was my favorite one. I like that one a lot. It's very descriptive, right?
Mesogayan challenge guy.
Yeah, I
It's
like
great.
it.
Yes, it's fitting. I am a flighter and a fighter.
Nice.
Oh,
They seem
How'd
to
your
really
arms
love
feel?
you here.
my arms are tired from carrying the party on.
Do you want us to
Good.
get you a straw for your drink? Would that help?
No,
Don't have to lift it.
no, I'll just find someone to. Oh,
To hold it for you?
yes,
Yeah, okay, I get it.
yes. What are we doing?
Well, I don't think this shadow monster is within our grasp at the moment. Perhaps one day.
But we'll just put it out in the daylight.
Man, you got. We've been here for like 30
It's only been like, yeah.
minutes. You got drunk fast.
Also, I'm just impressed because you eat so much like fingers and you drink blood, but like the alcohol just seems to hit you so hard.
That processing
It went
poison.
straight to your head.
I haven't eaten food in like 9 hours. And I have had a number past 7 drinks in 30 minutes.
That's
Yep. I mean,
bit.
that'll do it. Yeah.
Yes.
The
Do you
what's the cold man?
the one you just beat?
Jotun.
The
Jotun. Yes. Drinks like a fish.
Mhm.
I am not a fish. Like he. You point to Willoughby.
I mean, that's actually a good thing to know. I wasn't sure who's a fish, who's a tree, who's a.
I'm not
I don't
a
know who's
tree.
what anymore.
I am Draven.
Well,
Do you need
You
some
sure
water?
are.
Do you need to?
Let's get him some water.
Blah!
did he just blah?
I think you did.
Oh yeah,
Draven-
That's
Draven,
the
like-
Dampier coming out.
It's a really dumb thing. He walks up to the wall and then like Yeah. And it just like walks up to the ceiling. And now he's
a
like
bat.
he's like walking on the ceiling, kind of drunk.
What?
Okay.
I
Okay.
drave it like
I
a
mean,
spider?
he's done this before.
I'm
What's
gonna
this?
just watch
And he's
everyone
he's
else.
holding a drink that's right side up, and then tries to drink himself.
Yeah, the walking on the wall thing, I'm not worried about. That I am a bit more concerned with. He's
What's
going
this?
Can he die from
Joe, is there a
drink?
mechanical thing in here where he can embarrass himself so much that he actually takes away from all the popularity?
You're made of wood. I'll burn you.
There is someone right below you when you pour your drink back, and he just gets drenched. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he like looks up, thinking it's like there's a leak. What the? There's a man on the ceiling, and it kind of
There's a man on the ground.
yeah. Oh, he kind of moves on. The challenge man's on the ceiling.
He definitely just falls down drunk.
Oh,
And then-
challenge guy.
Oh, that crazy challenge guy.
Well, on my side, I think I hurt someone's feelings very badly today.
No, will it be you? No.
What did you do?
He wanted to tell me a story and I didn't care, so I told him to skip that part and tell me what the actual bounty was. And then it turns out the only details he had were Tree is killing things in the forest.
Oh.
He gets
Isn't that what the
paid.
sign
He gets
said?
paid to do that.
Well, I think he gets paid for the story part, right? Which makes it more exciting and entices people to go after the bounty.
It doesn't sound like anybody here has any real information about most of these bounties, except maybe bandits and bears, because this lake creature, nobody seems to know anything about that either. It's nobody's talking about it. Everyone's
the
just sort of
pools
posting.
of reflection,
Which one's
right?
that?
That one. The pool.
The Yorman bait, yeah, the lake
Gorman-
creature.
Yeah, he
Your
wanted to tell
man
me that
is
one
bait.
too, and I told him I didn't care at all about that.
Whose man is bait?
Only made him sadder.
Your
Can we just like pull Draven up and like,
Yeah.
do, like put an arm around him and
Yeah.
then
Prop
start
him in a
feeding
chair
him
at a
like
table.
water, basically? Like,
I don't need water. I have finger food.
Oh.
Oh God, he's showing people in the bar his
That's
fingers.
for later. That's for later.
Don't eat the fingers in the. Okay.
Okay, okay.
The lake one is in. That is quite a bit of gold for that one.
No, everyone's avoiding it. I've been listening in, and
Then
just
there's
it seems
no-
like no competition, but it might be,
Really?
you know, it's the whole thing of like, oh, it drags people under the water, and nobody's ever seen again, yada yada yada.
Well,
Well,
Some of
I
us
mean,
would
half
be
of us,
fine.
half of us
Yes.
can breathe underwater.
Oh yeah, it's just us, us
Well, no, you
oxygen
can-
breathers that
what
have to
if you
worry, right,
stay
Eldred?
up And
Yeah, we could stay on the. I don't know how big this lake is.
Oh, the old air
we
breathing
could at least
duo.
scout it and
Maybe
see what we see.
those of us who need oxygen just stand on the shore and watch.
You know,
the
I
rest
would
of you.
like to point out once again, I do need oxygen. It's not like I don't need oxygen ever. I just
No, that's true. You can
also
just- you can-
breathe the
oxygen
water.
or
Yes,
oxygenated
the
water.
yes.
That's
It's not
true.
Not breathing.
No, that's true. My apologies.
It's fine.
The specifics were
I was
yes,
being
you're
pedantic.
correct.
It's fine. Okay. Well, so also I think we saw. Did you all see the? I'm gonna point over at the dudes with all the hands. It looks like either they got the bounty on the bandits, or there are a lot of people who are not bandits without left hands now. So probably that one is done.
I didn't think we were
Draven,
gonna-
no, the
I-
hands are the bounty. You cannot take the hands. Don't.
But
you
you
have
said only some of them work.
No,
Honestly, if he wants to go after those hands, I really don't care.
No, please don't. Okay.
It's-
They're probably like 30 gold each if you really want to.
But only
You
if they're
could-
bandit hands. If he got non-bandit hands, they're cheaper.
You could ask, I guess, what they're going to do with the hands, and if they're going.
How do you know? How do you know which
just-
is which?
It smells.
That's
I,
what I'm
I think
saying.
it's a
Is
very
there a
flawed
mark on
system
the-
of governance in regards to the bounties. Yes.
Right,
If you
because you
look
could just take
at
any
the-
left hand.
No, because if you are looking for a bandit, you will find specific types of sediment under their fingers as well as skin cells, and there will be different types of calluses on their hands from what they have been physically working with.
Or they could be carpenters, or anyone who works with their hands.
Carpentry scars are different than sword wielding scars, and if you're looking for knights or guardsmen, their hands will often
be a bandit.
The only thing
don't have
more
to use
unsettling
swords.
than collecting anyone's hands is knowing that you know all these details about people's hands.
Yes, because when you're
Yeah, but I don't know. Look, I'm gonna pull my sleeve out.
When
Okay, now just look at the hand.
Uh-huh.
You can't tell like what I can do with. Do you know what I
She
mean?
can steal. Anyone can steal
Right.
with a
I
hand. You don't have to
wouldn't.
use swords.
I
You don't have
wouldn't be a
I
bandit.
to sediment
but I could
specific
be.
under your nails.
I like the notion that you're all right, and if I ever describe knowing, wow, yes, yes.
I'm gonna.
Someone get him food. He's.
Real food or finger food?
I don't know what he
You have to
eats.
think. You need to. The only thing that works is time. Or do you know we could go find a trough or something and dunk your head in it? Would you like that? Maybe it would help.
Oh,
Want to? No, you don't. Okay.
y'all are stupid. And I'm gonna try to use 5 points of lay on hands to clear my throat.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, it's technically a poison. Yeah, you get out your system as the healing
Y'all are
goes
no
through you.
fun.
You can just turn it off like that.
Yeah,
Well,
Do you feel better now?
I mean, I felt great before, but you're all like, oh, Draven's drunk. He's gonna eat people. Why does he know what hands are whose?
No, I didn't think you were going to eat people.
Why
I just
do
thought
you
it
know
would
what
raise a
hands
lot
are
of
whose?
questions if you didn't.
I'm ignoring your question, but not drunk this time. So we're not fighting the Shadow Man. and
Well,
we're
because
not
we
dealing
don't know
with-
where it is. It's north somewhere. Have you heard of a mountain that is shaped like a horn? It also has a hand jutting out of it.
Have we, Joe?
Have we, Joe? Can we make checks,
Joe,
Joe?
please. Joe.
Definitely not
Joe.
Juno and Draven. Willoughby, you go ahead and make a history check.
I'm learned. I'm a scholar.
Maybe Juno saw a map.
Okay.
That one, Willoughby does not care.
God damn it, Willoughby.
I have the background scholar, Joe, and if I don't know something, I know where to find out.
Yeah.
Then I'll let you do a
Yeah.
history check.
It's slammed, Joe.
You know what? Let's go to a region that's not Midgard or Messagaya, so everyone else can not
No
know
one else.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
I
ahead and
make a
do it.
history
Yeah,
check,
do,
please?
do a history check. Did you say you had another check?
Ooh,
No,
look
I'll
at
do
that.
history. History makes sense. 18.
Within 18, I'll say that from your research, at the very least, you would know that, though you might not know the specific mountain, you would know that the tallest of the frozen peaks are closest to the Jotunheim route, heading towards into the actual realm of Jotunheim. So,
Okay.
using some insight on that and using some kind of general scholarship, scholarly ways, you can pretty much decipher that your best bet is to go pretty far north and head towards Jotunheim.
The Jotunheim route. And is there a place in Midgard? Because I do have this. I've Gabe using his background made me actually look at background features, which I never do. This research one, it does like. So, is there a place in like Midgard where I would know of somewhere in Midgard where we could go and learn that information, like the actual specific mountain, or like learn what that is? Like, would I know where we could learn more?
You would have a few choices.
In
Holtagar, which is a city to the southwest, they boast pretty much the greatest bout of kind of knowledge and magic among Midgard.
Ooh.
They kind of almost see themselves as a separate city-state. So they have a lot of knowledge there. Alfheim, the Light Elves, a little bit more pretentious, a little bit more unwelcoming, but they are renowned to have a lot of information. And general skalds and bards that travel around, especially those closest to Mimir, or if you ever get the chance to speak to Mimir himself, they do carry a lot more information. Sometimes it's exaggerated, but sometimes the best skalds and storytellers actually do have the knowledge.
So I think Juno, sort of hearing the talk about the mountain, is like, if it's a sort of cold mountain like that, I remember reading when I was reading about coming here, the route to the Jotunheim, which I think is the land of the place that of the people that Draven was arm wrestling with. I mean, it sounds like it would be from there. I don't know for sure, but I read of this place, Hotagar, which is a sort of city-state here and has lots of knowledge and information. But our best bet would maybe be to ask some skalds if we come across them. I know that they're sort of the scholars and the philosophers, maybe not philosophers, but scholars of this place. We could always ask them, but I think that, yes, obviously, it would be deep into the mountains to the north, someplace like that, from the sounds of it.
If it is in Jotunheim, the fist, could it be some
Like a
long
giant
dead giant, right?
Yeah.
Is this
I don't know if
important to you?
What?
Is what?
The shadow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh. I grab Eldred by the arm and I walk over to the weird giant man.
What are you doing?
We're being conversational.
Oh, God.
There we go.
The Grendelkiller.
Yes.
to see you
What is your
again.
name, friend?
I'm Ox.
Ox. I put down 5 gold. Ox. Do you know of a mountain shaped like a what?
A horn.
A horn.
A horn with a
Yeah.
great hand jutting out of it.
Near Jotunheim.
Near Jotunheim, no. In Jotunheim.
In Jotunheim. Ah,
Brother's Hand. It is a great mountain.
Whose hand?
Brother's Hand.
Brother's hand.
The
Brother.
unnamed brother of the king of the Jotuns. He was buried in a mountain. Only his hand peels out of it.
Incredible.
What do you know about it? I'm sure it's cold, but anything else?
It is the old castle of a Jotun that used to rule. It's believed that Emir himself built it. And
Wow.
when Odin created each of the areas, each of the realms, from his body, it was one of the first mountains ever built. It is abandoned. No one goes up there out of respect for the king. Why do you want to know about
Wow.
that place? No one wants about the Jotunheim here. Not even me.
I heard rumors that it would be an incredible place for a dangerous honeymoon. Thank you, Ox.
Yes, of course. Don't give us any time. Do you want more drink? You seem too sober.
Soon, I'll take you up on that.
All right.
And I'm going to walk off. No one asks questions if you imply marriage. I apologize. Is that an answer to the question that you were
Yeah,
seeking?
that's a huge answer.
This is why I get drunk, talk to weirdos, entertain them, and then sober up.
And then sober up and take advantage of the wishy-washy knowledge that you acquired before.
How do you think I made it here alive?
With a very interesting process.
And then come back to the group and say all that again.
Willoughby, how do you obviously
Here we go.
I
More
know the
questions
world's-
about my anatomy.
No,
Let me buckle
about
in.
no, I
do
don't. No, that
interest
Let me get
wasn't.
comfortable.
Do you want me to ask about your
No,
anatomy?
by all means, go ahead. You'll ask eventually.
Okay, let me ask after this part though, but then I'm definitely going to. So, the World Tree. We all obviously know what the World Tree is. We've been around, right? Everybody knows. what the
Everybody
everyone
knows.
here
Everybody knows what the
Everybody
World
knows.
Tree is.
Everyone
If they
knows
don't,
it,
they
Brazil.
should definitely say something. But I
Yeah.
feel like
Why would
everyone
they
knows
need to?
what
Because
Dracula-
everyone knows. I would be
Everyone
frankly
knows, it's the
insulted
whole
at this
world.
point if anyone did ask.
It is
because
like
we
the
all
most
know.
basic.
I mean, if you were
thing of
coming to Midgard, you would learn about the World Tree, right? That's
You
what
would
makes
look
sense.
it up,
the
I
most important
think.
part of the
Yeah.
entire.
It's
the
definitely
entire play.
the thing, right? So if you are trying to get back to Yggdrasil, right, and you want to do the routes and whatever, aren't there like different routes at different, like, could we get to, I don't know, we deal with your thing, right? Where we leave you outside, we say, well, here's Willoughby's message, and they're like, great, thank you, have a great day. Could we just take another route somewhere else in Midgard? Like, could we go to Jotunheim or something? Does it work
Now,
like
I
that?
want to preface all this by saying, technically, yes.
Okay, great.
But utilizing tools like that is how I ended up like this.
Oh.
Alternative
Oh.
random paths through Yggdrasil along the plains is one of the fastest ways to end up in a horrible situation wildly out of your control.
Oh.
It transforms you.
Oh, no, it doesn't transform you. It's just incredibly unpredictable, and sometimes a random portal can put you somewhere you don't exactly want to be.
Where did you end up?
I believe I covered this, a pool of lava in
And
Muspelheim.
now he's in a tavern inviting questions about his anatomy. So if you want to end up inviting questions about your anatomy, we could do the root thing. If you don't, though, and it feels awkward to you to want to do that, we don't do it.
I don't care at this point. I truly... One way or the other, nothing matters.
Well, are there like men Kvistir and women? Do you make babies?
I truly and I need to stress this.
You just
so
said
carefully.
ask you. Now I feel weird if I don't
No,
ask.
I am going to make sure that we cover this. Once upon a time, I was, in fact, a mortal being. A human, in fact. But now,
Oh, a human. What color hair
my
does he have?
genitals are gone. They're
Oh.
gone. There's nothing down there. It's all gone.
I'm sorry.
You'd hear
I'm
from
sorry.
And you know what's the worst part? I still kind of always feel like I have to pee.
Phantom pain.
I have a phantom pain of having to pee a little. Does that answer your question?
It does. I don't.
When you fell into the lava, did you kind of have to pee at the moment? So you were kind of
Yes.
stuck in that. Wow.
Oh,
If you think you're going to die, always make sure you take care of everything beforehand. That's what I can tell you.
I've heard that when people do die, they do sort of release everything. Maybe, that's a way to, I don't know, is that connected maybe somehow?
Well, it's impossible to release everything if your body is melted.
To melt it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
true. So the route travel is risky, is what you're saying.
Moving
we could end
on.
up with
It's
no
risky,
genitals.
but I mean, if we needed to take a fast route, I'm fairly confident at this point in my life that I could guide us through one.
Interesting. Okay, well, that is good to know.
Are you drinking again, Draven?
Yes, did you hear your conversation?
What?
You of all people should be comfortable with death.
It's not the death that was the problem.
Is it the genitals? You
He-
don't want to talk about genitals.
It's weird.
Why? He said ask. Then it felt
don't
weird
have
to
any.
not ask.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing weird. There's just nothing there. It's truly the absence of anything. It's just flat surface.
Where are we going?
That's a great question.
I kind of wanted to take care of this big rogue Kvistir guy. It seems like a nice middle ground.
Okay,
I
here's
do
my
feel
question.
like I would like to confirm what's going on with that as well.
Are we
Because they
talking
wouldn't-
to him?
Yeah, they would. You see, here's the thing. They believe it or not, the bounty person had no input on whether or not it was a old model like me or a
Didn't-
new one like the one that random
Oh,
guy
they didn't
was
even
making.
know?
They didn't
Why-
know.
Why
If
would
it's
they
an old
know that?
model, I'm curious. If it's not, I say we killed them. But I'll be able to tell by simply looking at them.
You think
Polster
it's,
said it was especially big.
you think it's strange the person didn't know when
Extremely
these two,
strange.
Eldred and Lena, didn't even really know what you
No.
were.
We knew the difference. We could tell that.
Yeah.
We just knew he was similar but
Anyone
different.
That's
Just didn't know he used to be a human.
Anyone that's seen Kvistir can tell the difference between one directly created from Yggdrasil and one that's created by a mortal being.
Willoughby,
fairly
it just
obvious.
said that it was like killing things. Did he have? What is it killing? Is it anything like in particular we could get a clue from or something?
People?
Oh, just people.
Wilby says very casually.
People mostly, apparently. He actually emphasized as if it mattered to me that the Kvistir was avoiding killing, I believe, animals, various
Oh.
wildlife, which
Well, that's
is wonderful, but I don't know
nice.
why he stressed that so much in our conversation.
What?
Like
That
it
seems
was...
incredibly important.
Yes.
That means that there's intent.
Maybe
That
someone
means-
vengeful.
If they're not hurting
Protecting the
animals,
forest, perhaps.
they have a sense of reason. They have to be able to recognize people.
Yes.
Like what kind of people? Is it like woodcutters that doesn't like that trees are being chopped down or something?
Mm.
Right, it's like
they
this
just said
tree.
people.
Just people.
They just
Is
said
this-
people, and whenever I asked them for any more details, they shrugged and said it's in the story. But we both knew
But
that
you
story
didn't
was
want it
totally
in the story.
fabricated to begin with. So
That's fair.
If it's
All
this
right,
big tree, the poster said it was especially large. So if it's this big tree, Kvistir in the forest, killing any people but not animals, is
We're
probably
people.
like forests are for wildlife, plants, not people.
Indeed, mostly fabricated, but there are sometimes grains of truth. I might go and ask the skull just to tell me, just so I can see if there's any
might make him feel
useful
a little bit
knowledge.
better, but
Yeah,
I'd like
be
exactly.
aware
to
that
hear about-
he's in a rough state right now. After that, I think
Okay.
I think he was having a bad day before I came by.
Mm.
No, if you want to ask about that, I'd like to ask about the pool thing, the
Sure,
water
yeah.
animal.
Of
Did
course,
he
yes,
at
of course.
least say where it was last seen?
Oh, I told him I did not care because I would find it
but the-
myself. I'm fairly confident in my ability to find a plant-like being like myself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're the problem.
makes sense.
I don't know how to stress it. I have had a lot of trouble talking to mortals since becoming what is quite literally immortal and being trapped in a realm.
There's a lot of issues. You've got a lot of
Like
things
me.
going on. It's understandable, you know.
You're doing
Yeah,
good.
So,
it's okay. You've got us. We can help with these
Yeah.
things now. You know, we can do that sort of thing. So
so what does that didn't actually answer the question that triggered this? Are we talking to this thing?
That
I want to
depends.
I want to look at it first, and then I will tell you. If it is an old model, I would like to talk to it. If it is a new model, let's just kill it because I have zero interest in speaking to one that is just
Like you don't like
just
youths.
Man-made.
yes, just man-made. These ones lack any kind of history. They're different.
does
Less
that
of a soul.
That doesn't necessarily make them bad, but I assume there's less information to wean from them at a certain point when they are
Oh.
man-made.
Okay.
there's definitely a look of like, okay. A very interesting take on things, but yeah, no, I'm not.
Joe, do I have any idea if this could be like an awakened tree or something rather than a Kvistir?
Yeah, you it wouldn't be a far-fetched thing to believe, especially if they detailed it as larger.
Okay.
Are like Ents and stuff like just straight up big boys a thing in
Big boys.
Yeah. There's trends. There's various kind of living wildlife. It's
Okay.
not super common. Maybe around the wild tree you get more of it because it's kind of the idea, but it's not super common. But yeah, it can happen.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's no more like team discussion of what we're gonna do, I think that I'll ask Lena if she wants to go over and speak to the
Yeah,
Skald and
let's
just
go.
get these stories, because I think Juno would. Well, I would think that there's probably some grains of truth to the story, even if most of it's bullshit.
I think as we walk over, just take a second. Are you doing okay, Juno? There's a lot going on the last few days.
It has its. No, I'm fine. I was worried about you actually. I apologize for being a bit distant, but when we left, it was I saw the way that the words that you spoke to this Loki that we met and the things that you said and the actions. I was worried about you. I've never been particularly close to the gods. I've offered a few prayers to Athena now and then, but it seemed that there was a disappointment, and it was a lot more personal. So I was worried about you.
You said about truth, right? You said, well, she's half mortal, and that is the half that,
I cared about,
we hope
yes.
for, right? That can make choices and perhaps change. And I think that is always an important thing to remember when dealing with the gods, right? Is their nature. That is what they are, right?
That's what I believe, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
To expect to relate to them as we relate to each other, or to expect them to relate to us as we relate to each other is just sadness. It will never be what you want it to be. And either you accept that is how they are, and you let them fit into your life in whatever way you allow, or tell them to go fuck themselves and you carry on, right? There's not...
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, I heard this story from somebody from Mesogai. I've been doing some traveling before I met Eldred, but also with Eldred a bit. And there was this story of someone, Hercules. Is that a real person? Yes. And it was this story of someone was needed help. It was like, I don't know. I've heard the story a few times. It changes a little bit, but it was like a peasant and they couldn't move something. It was very heavy in one story or whatever. And they asked him for help. He's like, he's famous somehow. Everybody knows who he is, the son of, right? Everyone knows, right? So they were like, oh, Hercules, can you help? And he says, no. And he doesn't help. And the person is like, that is pretty shitty, right? Because you're very strong, right? We hear all these stories of how strong he is. It's like, you could easily just, you could just help me. And he says, the gods help those who help themselves. And it just keeps going, right? And I think it is supposed to be a moral of like, we don't, people are great, we can whatever, we don't need them, etc. But I think that is the hopeful way to take that story, right? Of like, if you help your own self, good things will happen to you. Maybe the gods will see and they will bless you more or whatever. And I think I feel like the truth there is that they just don't see it, really, when you struggle. They don't. I don't mean it in a way of blaming, in a way of it's wrong of them, right? They just don't see it. It doesn't matter to them. I don't think that we really matter.
I think that to try and understand the mind of the gods is... I know many very wise men and women, and I don't think that any of them could answer those questions because, can we understand the mind of a thunderstorm? Can we understand the mind of the ocean? Can we understand what war is so vast and so different to our own? Their perceptions of the world are different. And because of that, yes, I imagine that the prayers of mortals and the words and things that we need mean very little to them. At least I think that there are perhaps some gods and goddesses and deities who, even if they do not understand it, and even if it does not matter to them, they can see the value it has to us, and they will try and aid us. I think that I look at Eldred, and she is clearly she's clearly made some connection with Hecate, and Hecate has answers her prayers and gives her aid in the things she seeks. And there are many others who likewise have these connections, but I think that for many of the gods, yes, it is just a case of it is difficult for them to understand. And like I said, we had that conversation before of, yes, like the gods are what they are. They are, you cannot expect a lightning storm to not be a lightning storm. But I also, in the travels that I have had with you, you seem to be I would consider you to be very kind, and you seem to be a very kind person, especially the way you have taken friendship with myself and with the others, and you seem to be very close with Eldred as well. And I cannot imagine, indeed, I just cannot imagine that even if we understand things like this, even if we understand that the gods are what they are, I mean, disappointment can still be there, even if we understand it, even if we can accept it. That does not mean it does not hurt.
I think that is a good way to put it. I was not surprised.
Yes.
But I was a little disappointed. I sort of knew what I was going to do, what my path would be, and that hasn't really changed, because, like I said, not totally surprised. But
well,
we will go on.
If there is anything I can do, please say. And yes, but I'm glad. And don't worry about me. My very reason in being here is to see and to learn, and sometimes that means getting very involved and punching things in the face, and sometimes that means quietly just watching things happen. And this is all
a really good punch.
Thank you.
I try not to punch things. I don't do much.
I can throw a decent punch myself, but really it's the other one who does most of the punching. She's definitely the puncher, but technically I think she's me. But it's a very confusing element. But yes, thank you. Cool.
So you're approaching the Skald, kind of Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of sat there, and you can see him nursing down his drink, and puts it down, and looks across and goes, "Hello."
Hello.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, my friend, I have heard much about the Skalds of your land, and that you have many stories. And my friend and I believe that there are a couple of stories about some of these bounties that we would like to hear. And you'll need to forgive me. I'm unfamiliar with the process. In my country, in my kingdom or land, we pay. Is that the custom here? Do I give coin for the story, or do I wait until I have heard the story and decide how much it is worth?
Tipping is always welcome, but I take a percentage of all of the bounties, but it's not calculated in the money given to you. It's already given to me by the tavern. Yes,
Good.
I am employed
Excellent.
by Adventurers Await. So,
Excellent.
which one takes your fancy?
Lena?
Well, I think there are two that we are interested in. The rogue Kvistir.
Ah, yes.
Uh,
A dangerous
what is that about? It said it was big, right? Like, is it like a giant big? How big?
We don't know. And the reason we don't know is that the person that managed to see it, they questioned their very eyes. Now, you see, the thing is about Kvistir is that they can transform their size at any point they wish.
Can they?
They deflect themselves within the woodlands. This one in particular. Tell me, what do you know of the Kvistir? Do you know why they were made? What their purpose is in life?
Oh, I know nothing.
Don't.
That is why I'm here. The World Tree itself created an army out of its body to defeat Mesogire in the war. No offense.
None taken.
From its body, it sprouted hundreds, if not thousands, of warriors capable of taking the fight straight to them. But some some of those trees it could not make from its own body. It had to take it from different roots in different areas. So though the majority of the Kavista come from the main world tree itself, its roots grow deep. So those created in some of the other realms come out differently. It is even said that those created in Niflheim, in the coldest reaches by where the dead stir, those Kavista are changed, different. Now, we'd never have to worry about one of those down here, would we? Unless you consider the fact that one has arrived. This Kavista, we believe, to be capable of transforming itself into the very trees around it, to hide among them.
Oh shit.
And just like its namesake, just like where it comes from, it seeks death. If this thing was to be sent into Mesogai, it would be a powerful hero to the war effort. But here all it seeks is death. And if it can transform itself to be like the trees around it, tell me then what happens when it becomes Ironwood.
Shit.
My friends, if I may, this bounty, the gold is secondary. For the very hunting of this Kavista is the very protection of not only the people of this land, but the idea that the world tree itself has a shame in this woodlands. So to rid us of it, well, you'd be doing a favor for the very creature, the very being that holds up every single one of our realms. And that is a cause worth more than gold. But otherwise, there is a gold reward for it. If you'd like to claim that, you can bring it back. We are expecting the Kavista in... Yes?
Bring the whole thing back? Just part? Like, if it's really big, how are we going to carry it?
We have heard it has a face. It mumbles, supposedly it mutters. The madness of Niflheim, we have been calling it. So we imagine it has some form of face or I just met a Kavista earlier, actually. I imagine looks similar to that. So just head off, I guess.
So the World Tree created the Kvistir to invade them, like they didn't exist before the breach?
None. They're a new, they spawned only years ago to defeat the invaders.
Well, I certainly hope I don't run into it. If there's one around here, that would be awkward, wouldn't it?
Do you think the one that escaped, like if it finds another one, it could make babies and have a whole bunch of rogue Kvistir?
That's not how trees work.
Oh.
No? I don't. Well, I did. If it walks around and...
Well, think
like
about this for a moment. That's even scarier. It's not a worry about whether two trees come together and make children. For trees do not need to do that. A question I have to you is, what happens if this thing plants seeds?
Oh shit.
Yes.
Or perhaps whatever madness lingers in it can transfer like rot in a woodland or some such. Oh, spooky.
Where was it seen last and like how long ago?
In groves to the southeast. Follow through the trees. An hour in, you'll come across the sounds of its murmurs. We think roughly around there, southeast for about an hour. If you wander around that area, you should find it, but it moves. It keeps moving. And how? Maybe it's watching you the entire way through the eyes of every tree.
If I can do that, that's a good trick.
You have no idea. Now, this one I'm familiar with in a great way, for I've seen it.
You've seen it?
With my very own eyes.
What does it look like?
Death.
Like a skeleton?
No, it's a large fish.
What kind? Fish. How large? Like a person size? Or like a large trout?
My friend, Jormungandr the world serpent. Now it can feed upon the very rocks at the bottom of the sea, swallowing in thousands upon thousands of fish unbeknownst to it. But there was a time where the gods wished to grow Jormungandr, wished to see it grow bigger and bigger, and its mother wished to see its child thrive. But how do you feed something that large without making something equally big? So the gods created Jormungandr, a fish that could grow and grow and grow if left undisturbed, to grow alongside Jormungandr, to be eaten as years go by. And so that as it grew bigger, the fish would also grow bigger and become a snack continuously for its life. But Jormungandr is greedy. Ha! Terrible was not the start of it. Jormungandr is greedy. Jormungandr could not help itself. It loved the taste of the Jormungandr and ate it one after the other until it ate all of the eggs of the Jormungandr, feasting upon the entirety of this species. The gods laughed and laughed it off. Except that there was one small Jormungandr left, the fastest of its school. And when Jormungandr went for it, it moved fast. And it swam away from the sea, away from the great ocean, and upriver. And there it swam upriver until it was washed through a waterfall and lands in the pools of reflection. And over the years, this creature that has no limit to its size grew and grew and grew. And it ate every other fish in the pools, every other creature that went into it, grown hungrier and hungrier. And now, it has realized that there is no other fish to eat, so it turns to man. Any fisherfolk that wander down to the pools now risk the wrath of Jormungandr.
But if it ate all the fish, why would the fishermen go to those pools? Wouldn't they
Just add echo to his own fucking story.
And then Lane is just like, but why would the fishermen still go?
I don't get it. Also, isn't it limited in size by the actual size of the pool? Like, will it just grow so big it flops out? Wouldn't it just die? Can we not just wait?
Exactly, it would
die?
grow out of the pool. It would suffocate.
Wait, you saw it. How big is it? What color is it? What do its scales look like?
That's true. You did say you saw it.
Many colors, many shades, reds, blues, yellows.
Is it bigger than you?
Bigger than me.
Is it bigger than the guy over there? I pointed the gun.
It could swallow him whole and not even worry about the digestion. My friend, yes, perhaps it will outgrow the pool. Perhaps eventually it will drink down all of the waters of the pool's reflection. Perhaps that will be the end of Jormungandr. Or perhaps the rivers will grow larger. And one day the creature will swim back out into the ocean, so large it could fight the great world serpent itself. And when they clash, the waves will be enormous. Cities will drown.
Oh, wonderful.
Did you just go to the pools and stand there and wait to get a glimpse of it, or did you stick your toe? How did you see it? Did you put your toe in to bring it to the surface or something?
I was a boy.
Oh.
I wandered with my father. He liked to fish. He looks you.
But now that
Something funny?
Go.
Did you?
No.
You saw it when you were. So I thought you meant. I'm sorry. I thought you meant you saw it recently. So you saw it when you were a boy. Did it eat your father?
No, my father's fine.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
saw it eat a fisherman now. You ruined the story. In fact,
I'm
but it
sorry.
is a great creature. And dangerous. And 600 gold.
Indeed. With you saying it dangerous, and clearly it is, are there any records or stories of, does it just eat people? Is that all it does? Does it have, are there any tales of other things that it can do or effects? Does it shoot fire out of its eyes or anything like that?
None of that. It doesn't need to.
Need to.
It has a jaw capable of swallowing a bear. It has frills it can shoot up to frighten off any creature, any predator. And I say predator quite sparingly, because there is no predator for this beast. The only predator for this beast is Jormungandr itself. But if Jormungandr couldn't catch it when it was small, imagine it now. I tell you, my friends, if you are to hunt this one, be cautious. Buy as many supplies as you can in the local markets, and be prepared for a fight of your lifetime. Rope, perhaps, maybe a tinderbox to, light a fire nearby. Get yourself some rations nearby. They are actually going on sale.
Oh, what a wonderful
do you know
idea!
Someone who's
Yes,
selling all of
do
that?
you,
Oh,
yeah,
it's a good-
exactly.
It's a good thing that you asked.
Oh,
I know the merchant outside, Ogle.
Oh, do you? Oh,
okay. Well, we will ask him about some supplies. Maybe do a lot of people go after this bounty,
A
or
lot buy the supplies, but cower out at the last moment.
oh, well.
Yes.
I mean, great for business, though. Yes, excellent.
I don't
Whoa,
think about
amazing.
that. I think about life. So,
Of course, no, of course, indeed. Just what a great coincidence! What a great fortune for the merchants here. That is, it's good that so many adventurers come to deal with these great beasts. And what a service they provide! Wonderful. Yes, indeed.
you go after this.
Hmm.
I wish you the luck.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Very kind. Thank you, Scald. Thank you. Oh, and you mentioned tips and what wonderful stories.
Of course, you
And
don't
I'll
have
put-
to, but
I'll put 3 gold down. I
Oh.
don't care. I've got I hate having random numbers of
yeah,
gold.
that's fair. It takes them, pops it away into a little side patch. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank
I'll
you.
sing your tale.
And then. Oh yes, absolutely great. And then I'm just
come
like
back and
I
tell you all
turn so
about
that
it.
only Lena can see me and just roll my eyes and go back to the team.
Oh wait, one more thing. If the
The elk?
Yorman
Oh.
bait is so large, right?
Yes.
What do we bring back to prove that we have killed it? An entire great fish that's so big that it can't even, it is taking up the whole lake.
One of its shimmering scales will do.
A
Its
shimmering
scale alone
scale.
is larger than any of other fish around this area. be hard to
Good
fake.
to know.
Or an eye.
Or an eye. Won't it just be glob? Okay.
Mm.
All right. We'll
Yeah.
see what is easier to pry off of its corpse. Thank you.
Of course.
And I turn and go back to the group.
Okay. You return to the group.
How'd that go?
You guys, he added an echo to his story.
It was so cringe.
That's
He
why.
added his
That's
own
why
echo.
I always.
Magic?
He seems
See,
really nice, but he
I've-
the thing.
little
I've
bit of
met
magic.
enough scalds in my time that's why I usually open with skip, as in skip the story, skip all
Well,
of it, get it
I
all
think that
out of the
we-
way.
We did get some useful information, I think, with regards to the Yorman bait, which is the big fish, which is in these pools of reflection. We should probably be aware. It sounds like it has some supernatural means to try and frighten people. So that
Rules
is
or
maybe something.
Frighten
Yeah.
it.
That can
Yeah.
create some sort of aura of fear, maybe, or sense to fear. And also, it sounds like it is big enough that it could maybe try and swallow us whole. And I have bad experiences with the frog doing that, so I want to make everyone aware that that is maybe a problem to be aware of. And then there was the big story about it being connected to Jormungandr and growing and blah blah blah. That's all garbage. But I.
What is that?
It's some sort of great beast in the myth, the sort of the history here. Some great creature or something. I don't know too much about it, but it's some big serpent, I think. Jormungandr, the thing that the poison.
Jormungandr, yeah.
The world serpent, you know.
Yeah, the Aether and
Everyone knows
Poison
the
from-
World Serpent. He was obviously asking a rhetorical question.
I was not.
He
Big
was messing
snake
with
poison.
us
No,
Big
I,
because
Snake.
everyone knows.
He's
I don't.
like
I don't
got
do
a
that.
shitty attitude. It's like a
I
big
actually-
shitty snake.
I'm actually pretty direct with all of you.
It kind of hates everything.
Joking aside,
So
the
you-
only reason even I know about some of this stuff is I did some reading. I am a scholar. I specifically research things. I don't think most Mesogaians would know what the hell Jormungandr is.
I don't know what the hell half of the shit you all have said. is, but I
Exactly.
just kind of go with
Draven.
it. What?
Draven, do you know what the World Tree is?
No.
Of course he.
Yeah,
Oh, shit,
that makes
we
sense.
just
That
thought-
makes sense.
What is
We just-
Mesogaya made of?
Thought you knew.
Well,
You-
let's
you're
not
telling,
let's
you're
say
telling
Mesogaia's
me
mate,
you,
know.
you signed up to come with me to the World Tree, and you don't even know what it is you
I thought it
agreed
was a
to
big
do.
fucking oak, and you were sad about it. And you seem look.
Big
I assume
fucking oak.
hey,
it's
maybe
the biggest fucking oak.
maybe it's a willow tree.
how
Your-
you know?
Maybe
It's
it was a willow tree. Your name is Willoughby. I don't know, but you seemed pretty torn up about it. So I was
Draven.
trying to be friendly. Why?
That was really
It's
nice.
the thing
of
that
you,
this whole
Draven.
war is about. The story about it being poisoned. And
Don't
that stuff.
believe that. Wars are about not what it seems to be. So it seems
No,
like it's a crock
Well,
of
that's
shit.
what they
It is
claim it's
quite
about.
literally,
Yeah.
in this case, that.
How is it
Well, there's
you
probably other
who
things as
investigates everything believes that it's about the thing that's like the forefront of what appears to be a problem?
Well,
Well, it's the catalyst of it, and that's a
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fair observation.
the thing is, like, well, Willoughby can explain it better than I can, obviously, but like, the World Tree is the foundation of everything. So then, when you poison it, you fuck everything up. So
That's
it's
kind of
pretty
like
big,
saying a
like,
big fuck you to the entire
Yes.
transportation system that connects all of the planes of this realm together. Destroying that is like destroying the entire infrastructure of the gods in Midgard.
It's a
What
big.
if it's not someone from
deal.
any of the planes in this realm then?
I
Well,
think
that's-
that's very much a different aspect. I think that it is. There's definitely more going on, like you say, Draven. I agree that there's more to it than just that. But the World Tree is a thing, and it does seem like it was genuinely poisoned, and that's being at least used as the excuse for everything. So
Willoughby got in trouble for it.
yeah,
a lot of trouble for that. Yeah.
Look, you were upset because someone poisoned the tree that you came from. So I decided to try and help you figure out whatever the fuck
really nice.
was the issue because you cared about it. And it
Super
essentially
cool of you,
apparent.
considering you had no idea what you were signing
Yeah.
up for. Apparently,
That was
that's
really
very
nice
cool.
of you, Draven.
All of you keep talking about all of this stuff from Midgard that makes no sense. And to be
Shit,
honest,
sorry.
this is what I was talking about. You go forward, you don't explain, we don't talk to each other. It's a problem. And when one of you dies because you didn't tell me, oh, by the way, this person, if you do this, then they won't kill. Like, communication is very important to me.
okay, that's a very. I agree. That's very
That
true,
is
and I
true, you're
definitely want to
right.
know more.
Lot
Can we
to
know
go
a
on
bit
record.
more about you and grandfather and
Oh, yeah.
your stuff then, if that's the case?
That's a really
How
weird
did
thing
you,
to put me
like-
on the spot with my family when we were talking about someone else in a place where you even know things that I don't know, Juno. We're not talking about people. We're talking about places right now.
God, he's deflecting so.
Oh,
the World
hard.
Tree is
100%.
kind
It
of like
later. It is
Willoughby's
okay.
dad at this point, so
But then why the hell do all of you care about Willoughby's dad so damn
Here-
much?
But it's because
I
it
can't
is
even
like-
remember his face anymore.
No, okay.
I don't remember the face
It
of my
is like the World Tree is what it's like. I said, it's the foundation of like everything, right? So if it is poisoned, like everything breaks. It is very, very, very bad.
Why don't
Right,
you
we
just
don't
trend it so it's a
want
world tree?
the
Things
world
grow on it.
No, well,
Yeah, I'm trying
Why
to.
don't you
Willoughby
transplant
maybe-
the branches?
you can explain better than
I mean, there's really not much more to explain than that. You've kind of covered it.
It's
If
a cool giant ass magic tree. You can like travel through the roots and go to different places, sometimes end up in lava, then turn into Kvistir.
Yes. If there was ever one thing anyone could do to seriously piss off the Norse gods, it would be fuck with the thing that allows this entire realm to function.
Do you know
And
what,
that's someone
honestly?
did.
I would even be pissed if someone came to my garden and like pissed on a tree in my garden, let alone poisoned a tree that was the foundation of the entire realm and the world, right? Like I would be mad if someone poisoned a plant in my own little garden that was just a plant. Imagine on the scale of it was the actual world, right? You would be angry. We think it might be Zeus who did it. We don't know why. Maybe he's shit like the rest. That's what we've heard.
Why is there not more trouble around this? If this is such a dire thing, then
Well, it's like a huge tree, right? So
Well, there is trouble. There's a whole war happening, isn't there?
but You know what, smart-ass Barkwood? If the war was so damn important, then why did Thor spend time burning down a hall?
That's actually like because he's shit. We've said
Let me
like
be
8
clear. I have
horse
no idea
stocks.
what's going on with Thor.
And she's gonna like, kind of look around, almost like worried that maybe Thor would hear him because that guy's a fucking psycho. All right,
He's a dick.
that guy's lost his goddamn mind. He's crazy.
I might be wrong, but I also think that it's like I can't remember the exact the research and stories already, but it's something like the world tree is like only like it was it before the gods or like it's like only
really?
a couple of like gods can really deal with it. Like I don't think Thor could actually fix it. My understanding is of the world tree. It's like this. It's like really big, like and ancient, and the magic involved is all sorts
It's
of
bigger than the gods, right?
It's a
like, that's what I
primordial
think about
being.
it.
yeah.
Also, Willoughby, the storyteller, he said that the Kvistir were created by the World Tree, it, like spawned all of you when at the start of the war. You didn't exist before the start of the war. You're brand new.
I fucking wish the goddamn Yggdrasil just made me, was like, okay, get the hell out there and do your thing.
Go, little baby bird.
Go on, baby bird. But no,
Lie.
that absolutely is not what happens.
That did seem to be bullshit. Quick tangent away
Sorry, I
from the explaining the world tree stuff, just because while I'm remembering, is it true, Willoughby, that some Kvistir come from trees and roots made in the other realms, so that they can be sort of influenced by the properties of the other realms? He was claiming that this one might be from Niflheim, I think, which is connected to your land of the dead and stuff. I think, or your underworld. Yeah.
Like, are there Niflheim?
Is that possible? I don't know. I don't know
Yes,
if that's.
Niflheim is connected to hell.
Okay. So it's like your underworld. Okay, I can understand that. And then, but is it true that other Kvistir can be connected to these realms? Will it be?
Can I make a Kvistir check on this one?
One
yeah.
Kvistir check, please.
Go ahead and give yourself a nature check with advantage because you know about
Are
it.
you a secret hell tree?
Oh shit.
15.
PvP. Here we
Both
go.
rolls.
I'll type it to you.
It's just a smiley face. That's all he says.
No, this guy talking shit. That's what he says.
My knowledge, no.
Okay.
I do not believe a Kvistir can just walk out of any random plane and that's the place they were created. Especially any newer model was created, like we saw, by someone, more specifically by the branches of Yggdrasil.
But if it's from a root,
Why don't they just grow a new world tree?
I'm telling you right now, you can't just dig down to a root of Yggdrasil. You can't just find a root of Yggdrasil and cut from it's from the branches.
okay.
Okay.
So Draven, circling back to Rafi,
Yeah.
But what?
your grandfather.
Yes.
What's up
Do
with
it.
that?
What if we all just share like one thing?
I think
will
that's
go
good.
last.
Am I exempt from this? I feel like I've shared so much.
Yeah, you already shared the
I
genital
think-
thing.
yeah.
You did a lot
Like,
today,
I feel
Willoughby.
like
You
you
get
guys
the
know
pass.
so much about me.
I will go. I will answer one question if all of you go first.
Sure.
Wait, we can't
Here's
all
my
go at the
deal.
same time. Well, I'll just talk at the same time.
You go first. You are such a
Alright, yes,
charismatic
something.
figure.
Yes.
Why? Actually, no. I would like to ask you. I'm going to ask each of you a question since you have this interesting question about my grandfather.
Wait, do we each have to ask you? a
No,
question if you
I'm
can
asking
ask
you a
so many
question, and when y'all
questions?
answer the question, you keep asking about my grandfather.
You can ask, for the
I don't know
record,
why you're so
you can ask
sassy
me.
about this, Draven. It's okay
because
to
you're-
just
It's all
share
right.
with friends.
It's okay.
We're not friends yet.
Well, you can ask me anything, anytime, as much as you like. I literally have nothing to
I'm
hide.
just gonna need a little bit of transparency if I'm bringing you all in as +1s to Asgard. All right,
That's really-
That seems
You will
fair,
be
yeah.
responsible for us in. Yeah, that's fair.
super don't want you
Go
guys to all
nuts.
turn out to be evil and crazy.
Well,
Poison the world tree 5 more times or something.
Promise I'm
Just
not
kinda-
going to
no,
poison
you know,
them.
lessons learned from experience.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Go nuts. Ask whatever you want. I'm going to be very boring, I think, compared to most of you. So
You have
feel
like
free.
ghosty arms that can punch a lot. That's
That's easily
cool.
explained. That's actually not too
Yes, I've met
complicated.
so many people. Loki sometimes. Right now, not at all.
Loki.
Yes, I thought I said
Do you
that
know who
the
Loki is? I know you
Yes.
don't know a lot. Okay.
Because
Right.
you all shouted him out after I subtly mentioned that there was a god nearby.
Do you know his
do you know
like
what they
deal?
do? Their whole thing.
You said he was a trickster god. You said he was the brother of Thor.
He is the brother of Thor. He is a trickster god. That's what everyone knows about him.
There's something about him destroying the world or something I
He gives
think.
me the heebie-jeebies. Fucking.
He is fickle and like any god, right? Sometimes he's your friend, sometimes he's not your friend.
Sounds like the gods.
That's a horrible
is.
relationship.
That is kind of how most of the gods are. So to just bluntly answer the question, at this moment, none. Occasionally, Loki. I'm gonna pull out the coin that I have.
Mhm.
I'll give you a bonus answer, I guess, or bonus information, because your question was a pretty simple one to answer. I occasionally ask Loki for information or to help me make a decision sometimes. Mostly, I don't really mind what happens around or what doesn't happen, because if I don't like something, I'll just move on, right? I'll just carry on, I'll go somewhere else, I'll do something else. So when I find that I don't have a strong feeling one way or another, sometimes I will flip the coin. Sometimes I get a bit of an answer. For instance, in Herod, before we went after the Grendel, when we knew that we had seen, when Derek, right, when he had seen, Loki and Bruder talking, and I said, I took a moment and I asked the coin and I said, is this something that you're involved in? Because I would like to know. And I felt that he was involved somehow, but that was it. Because the gods aren't going to tell you much, right? Because they don't think of us as if we matter. So all I knew was that somehow he was involved. So sometimes I can get useful information, and sometimes I can't. He is more like he was like a patron, I guess, for lack
It
of a
sounds
better
like a
term,
fickle relationship
of our
of no judgment.
of our people. No, he was. I think sometimes when you enter into a relationship and you know exactly how the other person is, right? You go in with your eyes open. You're maybe not so disappointed when they meet your expectations, whatever they may be. And I will say that, you know, it has been, 8 years now that I was very disappointed. And we see how things go now.
Juno,
Hello.
why did you spend so much time researching this world rather than our own?
Well, I haven't really. I've studied both Mesogaia and this place in equal measure. At the academia, we learn about both worlds. Obviously, I know more about Mesogaia from when I was growing up. So when I got to start to pick and choose my own studies, I began to learn more about Midgard and this place. And then when I began to become very dissatisfied with staying at the academia and the mentality of some of the other scholars and the philosophers there. And I started to dream of traveling and started to think about learning more about the world. I wanted to come and see a place that I knew little about, and so I read up as much as I could as about Midgard before I came here, just because I felt it was wise to be a little prepared at least, but also to give me some context to things to go and pursue, to learn more about. I want to go. I want to see this world tree, and whilst I've read of it, I still don't know how it works or exactly what is involved. So I want to do that. So I would not say I know more about this place or I've studied this place more than our home, but it has certainly been a topic of interest before I came here.
Was there like one thing you read and you were like, I have to go there? Like, or was it just it all sounded kind of
No, it all sounds interesting, but there are places in Mesogaia that I have not been, that I know little about, that I want to go and explore and meet people from. I think spending so much time in the academia, I want to... There's a sort of saying that I've come to believe in my heart, and it's that anyone can know something, but to understand something, you have to experience it. And very much a part of my philosophy is to seek that wisdom. Wisdom is understanding, not just knowing. And so I want to go out and see the world. I want to, experience the lives and the trials, but also the joys and the pleasures of different worlds, to understand it a bit better. Yes.
Willoughby, I'll make this short. You can say yes or no. Did the world tree give you a choice in whether you came back to life?
No.
Eldred. Why do you detest this underworld so much?
For she who runs it is a liar.
We've met countless liars. It's shocking that one really upsets
I
you.
dedicated my life to her lie, and so I'm a bit spiteful of it now.
All right. So what do you want to know? And you can all talk amongst yourselves to agree on a question. And I'll answer honestly.
I would like to know, basically. Does this count as 2 questions? Do you think I want to know who his grandfather is and what the deal is? Because he mentioned having some deal.
I think, whispered, I think that Draven will definitely only answer one question. That's what he said he would do.
There's no way he's answering both.
Well, like, if I say, who's your grandfather, isn't he just going to be like my mother's dad or my father's dad?
That's fair. Do you know what I
The deal one is a guaranteed. Grandfather one, he's gonna find a way to squeeze.
The deal is a
out.
better question. I also at some point wanted to know how he does the thing. I tried.
The thing?
The scary thing. I tried to do it.
Oh, like
can't.
transform.
Yeah, I tried to do it and I can't do it, so... Yeah, I don't know. It seems useful, right? It was really scary. So what if I can do it and then people will leave me the fuck alone sometimes?
I'm sure you could be very scary. You just
I
gotta,
can
like,
be
rehearse.
scary. I can look very scary, right? But I couldn't do that. And I can even make myself look like Willoughby, and I couldn't do that. So I want to know how to do it. Because that seems interesting. But I think the deal's a better question. Gives you more information.
Go for it.
Oh, but then I want to know why is his grandfather so special? Okay.
What if you
We'll
say
find it.
with
I might be able to help you a little on the grandfather. I've recognized some of the trappings in his transformation. I think I know, but I don't know.
Can you phrase it with like a semicolon instead of as 2 questions? So it just flows like, can you just grammar it out? So
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Draven?
Yes.
What is this deal you have with your grandfather? Who is he?
Very good.
There was a semicolon.
You can hear it. You can literally
All
hear
one
it.
sentence with the question
No
mark at the end.
pauses. Yeah.
Yes, the deal is I will punish Zeus myself.
Me, I'm not.
But don't.
Don't want to.
Prince.
Gods.
Why? Yeah, I mean, you answered the question, but what are you doing here if you're trying to punish Zeus?
Because there's a war going. And those on the
So
other
you're helping
side
us.
will happily punish Zeus.
That's
You're,
true.
you're seeking allies and gaining advantages, it seems.
I've already made 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a better, more honest answer?
It is good to know for certain.
Yeah.
That's good. Do we all feel good now? Do we feel a bit better?
Was the wife of your grandfather your grandmother or another woman?
Yes.
Hmm.
And I will never forgive him. She might, but I won't.
I know this is another question, Draven, but your powers and the things that I've seen you do, it's not just from your grandfather, though, is it? There's other elements there. I don't know much about magic, but I've seen you
Thanatos
do
is
other
not my
things.
grandfather.
Right. Okay. Okay.
He's simply a
Who's
friend,
Thanatos?
so to speak, I guess.
Thanatos?
He is the god of...
No, please. It is your story. My apologies.
Thanatos is a Mesogaian personification of death. Something familiar to me.
Oh, got it.
Death is darkness and fear to some, but only some. So the underworld is not a foreign thing to me. And your hesitation surprised me for that reason, Eldred.
You know, I'm roughly familiar with Hades, but not Thanatos.
Hades is a gatekeeper and prison guard. Thanatos is much more like a ferryman.
Love to hear about your stories from it, Willoughby. There was nothing in the academia. There was almost nothing.
Well, there's less gods scampering around, blowing things up, which is refreshing. To be honest, that's one of my favorite parts about it.
I definitely get
Willoughby says nothing else.
yeah,
No more
it's very easy to
details.
pick up on the things that you know. Oh, no gods are involved. Willoughby will probably like it. Well,
What comes
think
next?
I guess we decide what we want to do. Yes, morning and where
the
we want to go.
lake or the forest.
I think we deal with
The Kvistir?
Kvistir first, because I don't think that lake one's going anywhere by the sounds
It's
of
a
True.
lake.
No.
True.
It is a fish in a lake, right? Where's it going to go?
If we want to go after the Kvistir, the groves to the southeast, about an hour, is where it has been encountered. So,
Great.
They saw it, said it was very big. Oh, they hear mumbling, right? Juno said mumbling and like.
murmuring, yes, we
Yeah.
listen for murmurs
Yes.
when we get close. The other thing that was raised, and again, I don't know. Again, Willoughby, I don't know anything about Kvistir, but the Skald was saying, imagine what a Kvistir who could merge with Ironwood would become, and was claiming that this Kvistir had some ability to become trees to hide itself. It would become the trees around it to hide itself.
Oh yeah, it's
So
kind of like
even if it maybe is just very good at
camouflage.
camouflage, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Right.
It may try and ambush us, so we should try and.
I mean,
More
Keep
like
out.
Amtrias.
I get it because it's tall like the tree. I get it. Good one.
Mhm.
I mean, extremely skilled Kvistir, far beyond my capabilities of all sorts of plant-based powers. I would assume that this random feral Kvistir wandering in the woods is likely not at that level. So I'm going to operate on the assumption that's once again some bullshit storytelling by a hack
think it's
fraud.
like a basic
Probably.
feast here. All right. Well, we walk to the southeast. We take a look. We find it. Oh, it said. He said that one person had seen it. It was scary. No, he said it has sort of like a face, and then was talking about the mumbling and the murmuring and stuff. So I was like, well, if it is, a huge tree, what do you want us to bring back? We're not going to carry a whole tree back. And he said, like, well, it has a face.
The face, or the,
We
or
just
the
carve
head.
off a face. That seems gross, but also he gets paid, so it'll be dead.
Just be wood, right?
Yeah. So sorry. Let me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I think that is what we do.
If it's
Yeah.
if it's killing people at random, then something needs to be done about it. If it's just
Sure.
attacking
Also.
anybody traveling.
Oh no, we're people walking through the forest. What could happen? And then,
It might be good to have either Willoughby maybe move ahead of us or separate to us, so that he can.
Willoughby, can
Speak
you
to
look
it.
like us?
No.
Okay. What
Well,
time of day is it, Joe?
yeah.
I believe you rested up and then traveled throughout the day, so probably starting to become evening,
Okay.
afternoon, evening.
I think there's something Willoughby would want to do, though I don't think it's going to be in range. I think, considering we're kind of operating on assumption this may not even actually be a Kvistir versus something else, I'm going to ritual cast locate plants and animals, because a Kvistir is a plant.
Mm-hmm.
So in a 5-mile radius of our location, I'd be able to tell if I sense
Yeah.
another
Kvistir.
Kvistir in the distance.
Yeah. And you cast the spell. Your roots kind of going into the ground to sense it. And you feel southeast of you, a few miles away. Just like the other trees there, but different, more familiar. You feel the kind of roots of this Kvistir moving, wandering around aimlessly. It feels very much like when you've ever detected anyone from your homeworld.
So, can I tell through this spell right now whether or not this is a older Kvistir like myself or a newer one?
I'm gonna say roll. Give me just a straight wisdom check.
Even you.
17.
It feels more familiar. It feels like it might be one of the ones more similar to you.
This is whatever that Kvistir is. They're old. They're more like me than they are like the ones that.
Oh shit! Well, then we
See.
want to talk to it. Yes.
I definitely would like to find out what's happening. Yeah.
God knows
Okay.
if it's actually going to be able to speak if it's lost its mind, but
Do Willoughby like? Do they? Can you just? I don't know. Can all of your fellow Kvistir like? Do you get to just leave? like and go do things.
If I
on
was
your
able
own?
to
Like,
just leave, I
that's what
wouldn't
I was-
be anywhere near as
but is it
generally curmudgeon-y as I am today.
I just didn't know if it was like because that was your job was to guard, and like they let other ones like, oh, your job is to go here or what, like.
Christian kind of stayed in their lane up until Yggdrasil quite literally had a poisoning done upon them.
Makes sense.
So, to my knowledge, most stayed pretty close to the tree, unless, Joe, you want to correct me. Otherwise...
No, you're correct about those ones for sure.
Okay. Maybe something is wrong with it, or.
I mean, do you think we might be able to help it, Willoughby? Like, I mean, obviously you won't know until we see it, but I'm willing to try if that's what you want to try and do, is find a way to help.
There's a
help
high
this other
possibility, frankly, that it may even be a Kvistir quite like myself, is in one that didn't exactly like becoming a Kvistir and getting the situation that it had. And in that case, they might just have their own extremely unique problem that they're kind of working through right now. Which is very likely, if you're Kvistir, like myself, and you wake up and you don't exactly want to be tree guard number 5 in a long line of tree guards for eternity.
5's my lucky number.
Well, congratulations, I guess.
If you had like if you had been, let's say you escaped, right? You were like, I'm tired of this. You found a way out, right? And you escaped. Would they have sent someone after you, or would they have just like, do you know what I mean? Like if he, like, okay.
They likely would have, but I can assure you, if anyone was going to be able to escape that place, it would have been me, and I couldn't.
And you couldn't.
I have
I just
no
more meant,
idea
like-
what kind of person could navigate those routes and somehow deceive Yggdrasil to the point that they're able to get out of the root system to escape.
I thought, like, what if, like, if maybe it saw you first, it might see you as a friend if you were similar, but maybe it would be like, oh shit, they're after me, and that wouldn't be a good idea.
That is possible, but I mean, I still think my likelihood of being able to speak to them is higher than the humans that apparently it is killing on sight.
Sure. Okay.
But
We
I
can theorize.
don't think they're not moving very quickly. We have the night. I say we rest.
Yeah, compare pillows.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, if this one's better, we just leave these in place of it.
Oh,
and take
yeah.
the new one that's better. It's like you trade up the
That's
pillows.
such a strange hobby.
It's just that I like, you know, you're traveling, you want a little bit of comfort. You want something that is kind of nice. You like squish it up and you go all feet.
I truly can't relate.
I know, you don't sleep. I'm sorry, that was rude. I forgot. Trust me on it then. Do you want to be able to sleep? Like, would you like to turn back to a
The
human?
only downside I can think to turning back into a human now is that I would then be mortal and would die again.
Well,
which
not
would
right
be
away,
a pretty
right?
big bummer.
Like,
Well, not right away, but
yeah,
there'd be
it's
the
like-
constant. There'd be the constant ticking
but
clock.
you would finally pee, and then you might feel better.
I'm kind of more interested in like a side grade of like maybe I get turned into like something else that's immortal or
Oh,
close
what if you could?
adjacent.
Yeah,
At this point,
you could be like.
Just a little goal there.
just a small. Just someone get me like a demigod body. I can kind of just move on
That
into.
might be a way to do it, right? I don't know. Magic makes anything possible.
Probably not ethically.
Well, that's true. If it was like a dead body, you could take it. I don't know how that works. I'm just guessing. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It seems plausible. Magic makes anything possible. It just said it, right? Like, you could do all sorts of crazy shit.
It was more the like you could find a dead body, moral,
I don't know. We've seen-
questionable,
look,
that sort of thing.
I quite
We've known each other for
literally
about a week, and
have-
we've seen a lot of dead bodies. You see
Oh,
them all the time.
That's fine. Yeah, just the possessing it and using it and all that stuff.
I have
Like an unclaimed dead body. You're not gonna don't take a dead body from someone, like an unclaimed one.
Well, I have plenty of time, and by plenty of time, I mean the amount of time it
forever.
takes for the poison to kill Yggdrasil.
Oh shit. Well, that forever.
I am dying. To be clear, I am dying slowly.
All right, we will
Okay,
figure
yep.
it out.
No big deal. NBD.
Let's go compare pillows.
All right, let's go get a pillow.
Yeah.
Draven, you're pretty popular here. Can you get us free rooms?
Yes,
Nice.
probably. How many do you want?
That's the guy in challenge guy.
Oh God, how many rooms would you like?
I
One.
don't care.
I don't know. We can share. It's
We got
fine.
pillows, we got bedrolls, whatever.
I'm happy to share. Yeah, it doesn't bother
Are
me.
we
just gonna wander
sleeping
town.
together, or are we sleeping separately?
I don't
can share.
snore. I don't.
We can share.
If you
Yeah,
snore,
I've
I
got a
don't.
bedroll. Yeah. Oh, I'm a heavy sleeper. I'll sleep through anything. So.
I wish I was. I wake up a lot, but I don't snore, so that's good. No one tells me I snore anyway.
You don't
Eldred
snore.
doesn't snore. She's good.
Okay.
One room it is.
All right.
I'm gonna ask for one room and two
Yeah.
drinks.
Yeah, the barkeeper say to you, you lean across and just say, "Yeah, of course, but if you're gonna be staying here, I want you to set up that little bed every night. We managed to get some beds on and earn some coin ourselves, so you more than paid for your room."
Oh yeah, and consider it done. It
All right.
was a lot of fun.
We'll get a sign made, get a table pushed out for you, and anytime you want to stay here, you just set up your little arm wrestling challenge, and we'll handle the beds.
Not used to having a home. Nice. I love that. Consider it done.
Great. And he just kind of leans in and goes, "Here's a key. In the room up there in the corner. Hey, and we'll send up a couple of drinks.
God's bless you.
Try to just spill them on the bed."
No. Walk back to the party.
Okay.
Then do that room.
All right.
Great. Maybe we can be up by sunrise.
Go find a rogue Kvister.
Oh, if you want me
talk
to wake
it.
you up by sunrise, I can wake you up by sunrise.
Okay.
You can try. Yeah, sure.
I do not sleep. And people just turn around and leave the bar
Yeah.
to wander town for the entire evening.
Well, we'll just use that chance to take a 5-minute break. Just quick break just to get drinks and whatnot, so we can finish the last 20 minutes of the episode straight
Cool.
after that. All right, go and refill your drinks, use the loo, all that kind of stuff, and we'll be back in 5.
Mm.
Oh, this one. There you go, chat. Not the battle scene. Right, bring back 2 seconds. Okay, chat. Let's bring them back up.
Met each other,
Yeah.
tell each
Hello.
other their life story. Hello.
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 We were just telling each other our life stories because it's totally normal to do when you.
When you've only met each other
Yeah.
for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
No. But I was just going to say that like when I play D&D, I kind of am very happy to just kind of be like, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm going to do it anyway because it does make the game like, you know,
Yeah,
it's that kind of
absolutely
social
same,
element of the
right?
game. You know, it's still a game at the end of the day. And so I kind of, you know, sometimes I find it
Yeah.
personally very easy to just gloss over that and be like, yeah, I trust you.
Absolutely.
Person I met 4 days ago, I trust you with my life.
You seem trustworthy. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. That's how I am.
Yeah, no, it makes
Same.
sense. It moves things along for sure. Okay. So-
Okay.
Coming back into things, you go up and rest in your room. Wallaby, did you do anything special over the night?
I think he just kind of wanders around and like sort of just scopes out the whole town
Yeah. Yeah.
because he truly has nothing else to do in the evening.
Yeah.
And that's just low energy, something that he can use that's technically his long rest while still getting
Something
done.
done.
Yeah. Yeah. You can kind of take in how this encampment overnight is. People tell stories. They set up their campsites all around the tavern and the area and the local shops. There's only a couple of shops around this. It's more like an encampment than it is a town. But the tents have been set up in a way that there's kind of natural roads going across the area, and you kind of get the general vibe that this place doesn't really sleep much. Most people don't fall asleep until much later. They tell stories against the campfire for hours and hours. It's almost like a community of people that come together to discuss tales and whatnot. So there's quite a comfortable vibe. So whilst you're wandering around for the night and prepping for that, for the others to wake up, it finally dawn comes and the sun rises and you see it. Good 5 a.m. Nice and early.
Gross.
Yeah, Willoughby's going in there 5 a.m. to wake everyone up.
I was gonna say, like, is this like Draven in like a single bed and then like the rest of us on like bed rolls?
He said
Like,
beds.
like
He said
beds.
there's multiple beds
Okay.
in there.
Yeah, there's two.
How
Yeah.
are the pillows? Are
Uh,
they nicer than the ones we already have from Harrod?
Probably not. Harrod is very much a place, you know, it's a bit richer in its comforts. It's more like a hotel in comparison
Got it.
to a place like this. There's straw and some kind of quilted portions of them.
Nah, we'll keep.
But
Garbage.
it's okay. It's better than sleeping on the floor. So it meets,
That's where Juno is. Juno is on the floor, like on bedroll, sprawled out, just
Yeah.
legs and
Starfish.
arms out of the blanket. Yeah, like, and completely passed out, just like absolutely dead to the world.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a little angel when she's sleeping. Look.
It's a slight snore, slight snore.
Willoughby. 5 a.m. What would you like to do?
First thing Willoughby's gonna do is is the bar like is there a barkeep at the bar yet or anyone like in the main section?
I imagine like the person who comes down for the morning who's extremely tired. Kind of, you see the barkeep from the day before, the bald one, the bigger guy comes in. Oh, would you like a drink?
I need buckets of water. 1 bucket of water, please.
For an animal or for people?
Just a bucket of water.
All right. He heads outside, and then you hear him come back in. Pops a bucket on the side. 8 copper pieces. But we have to
Yeah.
bring back the bucket.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Okay. And he just sits down. You can see him kind of like dozing off as you take away the bucket.
Willoughby's gonna carry the bucket of water up to the room.
Okay.
Dun, dun.
Did you
Creak
guys
the
lock
door
your
open.
room?
Probably.
Okay. If it's locked, Willoughby's gonna use shape water and break the lock open with shape water.
Well, I feel like Willoughby would be
He's gonna freeze. He's
with
gonna
us in
freeze the
there?
lock.
And then we lock it, and then he'd probably unlock it and leave.
You know what? I think not even checking if it's locked or unlocked, he's going to assume he was locked out and that no one gave him the key. And he's going to loudly use shape water to fill the lock with water and then freeze it, breaking the lock loudly open.
Somebody's breaking in.
There's someone breaking into the room.
You just hear
I
the
have a
sound
dagger
of,
out. Ow.
like a shattering sound in the door.
He's just going to lean at the door for a second and see if anyone responds
I was
to
going
that.
to throw daggers at whoever came in.
Fast asleep.
Did you just break the door?
You could have just
He's going to lean in the door.
Did you just break the door to a free room that we were given? That I had the key to? That you all asked me to get a room for us for?
It's weird that that lock was broken when we come up here, I remember.
Stop lying to people. You were talking about people being liars being a problem, and then you're doing it.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
You know, I've learned over 400 years of being alive that the fastest way to wake up is to believe that you're in imminent danger of death.
You know,
Thus,
it worked. I did think someone was.
I'm providing you a service by making you believe that you're about to be murdered by vagrants breaking into your room. In the morning.
It's a great way to wake up. Thank you, Willoughby. Should we wake up Juno? Is she still asleep? She is a heavy sleeper. Look at that. How does she do that? I envy that.
I brought a bucket.
No. Okay. I'm gonna go over to Juno.
Hand poke her. And then
Just, I'll do that thing that like moms do, and they're like, Juno. Juno.
Yeah, mother or what?
Hey, wake up. Come on. It's time to wake up.
Is it morning? I thought Willoughby was going to wake us up.
No, it did.
He's holding the bucket.
He's going to dump a. Okay.
Okay, I'm up. Oh,
You know, in a scenario where there was vagrants trying to break into your room to kill you, you'd be dead.
No,
I
I
would
just
have
died.
picked the lock.
You see, that's what a thief would do, but a vagrant may in fact smash the door down.
Yeah, a vagrant.
It's far more
I think a
dangerous.
vagrant would just break it. You're right, like the hinges. At
Sometimes
least,
they've got that kind of rabid
Yeah.
animal instinct to just tear you to shreds.
Right. Do you think they have breakfast ready down there?
No.
Do you think no?
No, not yet.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking about waking you guys up at like a couple more hours from now, but I got bored.
Willoughby.
we need to give you things to do.
You
to
have,
stop
you have to
getting
like,
bored.
yeah, like read books or knit.
I
or...
Would you like
wandered around
puzzles?
town.
We could get you a little puzzle box or something.
Yeah.
I'm
busy.
so trust me, I've gone through all the puzzles, and I know that might sound hard to believe, but I've truly done all of the puzzles,
Okay.
all of them. And
Well,
I
we
wandered
need to-
around town, and I watched people do things for a while, and then I watched some squirrels fight, and oh man, they had
Who
some
won?
words to exchange. It was a draw; they both killed each other.
Oh, that's sad.
What are you doing with that water?
I was going. Well, first I was going to use it to break the door open, and then I was going to use it to.
Well, no, you didn't. You did do that from the sounds of things.
Well, there was a second part of the plan, but most of you woke up in response to the danger, so I didn't have to use the
I
rest
would've
of it.
Good
No.
test.
If you'd have been,
I
a
have
little
to
slower,
actually
I would've
return this bucket, and Willoughby's gonna casually turn around and go back downstairs.
You see
I
the
have
guy
to
look at.
return this bucket.
He sees the water. Oh, there's no refunds.
No, I'm done with
This
it.
water was terrible.
Oh. Takes it, just brings it back out and plants it back in. All right.
Hey, what are you serving breakfast?
Breakfast. Not for 3 hours.
Oh, they're gonna hate that. He turns around, and goes back upstairs.
I think. When? Oh, go on. Sorry, Chrissy.
I'll use mending to try to fix the lock on the door. Put it back.
Gina's
together.
doing workouts.
Yeah.
Or at least make it look like it's put together.
Let me just look, because the thing about
Like if it's
Mending.
in pieces, I could put it back. You know what I mean? I could take the
Yeah.
pieces. and
Well,
be
like
it would
it's
take
is it pieces?
it's mending's very much for a key snaps. You put it
Yeah.
back together.
Yeah, shape water, expanding water into ice.
Well, I guess that's what I'm asking.
A
How many
lock is gonna
pieces-
crush it
how
and
many
destroy it.
pieces-
I imagine
the
he
rocket.
shattered it, right?
The way I saw it was I put a bunch of water in there, I froze it, which does
Here's
what
what I'm
water
gonna
does,
do.
and like shattering a pipe, it
I'm
just
gonna walk
ripped it in
over.
half.
And I'm gonna be like, I don't know. We can probably fit. Fucking all right. No, it was broken
just-
when we came in.
In the middle of doing like sit-ups, like 100 sit-ups, you know, it's just like, we'll just give the man some gold. We tell Willoughby don't break locks in the future. Like we'll
Be like a lock.
we'll just have to give some money. Yes, what?
Lock. It's fine. We don't know
Hey.
what happened.
42,
Hey,
43, 44.
did you
Good
give the
news
buckets
is-
back?
Oh yeah, I returned the bucket.
good.
That's taken care of. We have time to take care of the Kvistier situation before breakfast. Imagine how productive we're going to be today.
What?
Yep.
Oh,
Be back in time for omelets. Whatever it is you people eat.
I was going to say, is that the
You're
only
going to an
human? Is that the only human food you know?
The only
I
thing you
do like
remember.
an omelet.
I have the distinct taste of fluffy omelets.
It was the last thing I ate before falling into lava.
You know, you always
Walking
have
with
the
a plate of an
aftertaste of the
omelet.
last thing you ate.
I don't know.
Canon.
taste.
That's canon now, Tomato. Willoughby,
Sorry.
the only thing he remembers the taste of is omelets.
All right.
Okay,
Juno,
I've
how
got
many
the-
more of those do you have to do?
31 more, and then I'll do a little bit of yoga. That by the time you kind of get all your armor and stuff on, I'll be finished. So
You do like 100 of those every morning?
yes, I've got to try and keep flexible. I do a few. I normally vary it. I don't just do sit-ups every morning, but I do a bit of stretching and some other
Yeah, I mean,
core
I
exercises.
stretch, but
Yeah.
Sit-ups are like the worst.
Oh well, to perfect the mind, one must perfect the body as well. Very much.
I'm gonna leave it unperfected then.
That's fine.
Bad.
You know,
I
if you ever
always
want some
need-
pointers, I can help.
Yeah, how do you do it without someone holding your feet? My feet go up. I need someone to hold them.
Oh, well, you can normally, to begin with, you can wedge them under something if you need to. I used to use an old log box, an old wooden chest. But once you kind of get the practice and you get the muscles in the right place, you'll be able to just keep them planted on the ground. So.
Which pillows are better?
Oh, the ones we already had.
Oh, Herod pillows are way better.
Okay.
You know, given all the destruction back in Herod, those are kind of like limited edition pillows.
Oh, wow.
They are. That's a good point. Oh, I'll savor it more now.
It's a bit of a downer, but sure.
All right.
Let's go.
Get up. I'll just eat a thing from my. We have some jerky or something.
I've got some trail rations. I got some spare ones.
Bread. Maybe
They're
that
selling
merchant
water.
with
If,
the 10%
if you guys
off
are hungry
is-
for water, they have that.
Hungry for water?
Don't forget, he's a tree. Plants. They drink
This
water.
is what 400 years of Kvister does to you. You don't even know that you don't get hungry for water. It's sad.
Let's leave, or you're gonna miss omelets. Come on.
Shit, I don't want to miss an omelet. Let's go.
Okay. So, gathering your things together, prepping
Yep.
for your day ahead, you're going to head out.
I am gonna stop at the
Yeah.
innkeeper, apologize for my companions breaking the lock. That's all I'll say.
Companion. Let's
like
make
rubbing
it
his
clear. It's just the one who broke that lock.
He does not.
You like, and he's kind of dreamy stupid. He's like, oh, yeah, though that room was always had a dodgy lock. Which room were you in?
The one in the corner. Here's
Oh,
the
no,
gold piece.
that one was brand new. He takes it. Up.
Yeah.
All right. Puts it aside. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Okay, goodbye.
Right,
And, you know, I'm gonna put
In the
I'm gonna put the key down because it's useless.
Oh. Thank you. Pops it under the desk.
Oh.
Good luck, Arthur. He just goes back into his kind of nap. Heading outside into the open, you'd be wandering your way back into the Ironwood. The sun has barely risen. It's still pretty dark, a little bit foggy out. And you'll be journeying in the direction that Willoughby kind of located the creature. Traveling for a little while. The cold air is easy enough to kind of wake you all up. And after a little bit of travel, you meander your way through the woods and you hear the sounds of life waking up around you. You realize that you woke up even before some of the birds. And as you kind of pass through the woods, about an hour later, closer to where you detected it, you start to hear the murmuring. Does anyone speak primordial?
I don't think.
I actually do.
Oh shit! Here we go.
I do not.
In an ancient language of primordial, you hear the mutterings. You hear, find and message, 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 mimir, find and message, mimir, find and message, mimir, find and message. To everyone else, it sounds more like very guttural, very kind of like deep breaths.
I'm getting some primordial from whatever this Kavistir is saying. Something about finding and messaging Mimir.
That's what it's saying.
It's like looking for Mimir.
It just keeps repeating it like it's broken.
Mimir, is that an important name?
Do you remember the skull stone with the Dans, that fellow?
Yes.
Mimir's a pretty
Yeah.
big deal.
Like maybe he was on an errand or something, and Maybe
Not sure what
he's-
kind of errand makes you want to kill people.
saw a skull stone.
Well, if they are repeating this message over and over, it could be, I don't know, some trauma or perhaps
Sad.
something that's a curse or a spell that's gone awry or something like that.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I should probably go first this time.
You should.
Sounds wise.
And since we're close enough to be able to hear this thing, Willoughby's going to cast Enhance Ability on himself for Charisma and
Hey.
activate his Dragon Constellation.
Okay. Stepping through the kind of next bushes and the trees there, the tall trees above you, you'd see up ahead of you is a series of kind of like fallen logs. And you see a Kavista done in a very similar design to yours, but taller. And you notice from the way that the kind of the arms go down, almost like long wizard sleeves, they kind of get thicker at the bottom. Same with the legs, the way it goes from like a thinner leg down to a thicker leg at the bottom. But kind of a wider jaw on this kind of tall, squared, tree-like creature. It is only about the same size as you. And it's tending to some branches nearby, and you can see it's caused two of them to come alive. Twigs for legs, you see these two kind of branches that have fallen off are kind of moving with it, and it's tending to them. And when it turns its head, you recognize its face and its patterns. There's not that many Kavista that were around before the kind of mass production of them. And very few were grove tenders. Basically the position to tend to the World Tree's needs more so than anything else and make sure that she's well maintained and it's well maintained. This one is known as Briar. An old Kavista. Older than yourself. Always around. Even old when you were first born. That one had been around for a while. Born from one of the roots of Yggdrasil. And when it turns, instead of a familiar green glow that passes through to show your life, You see a deeper shade of purple. You see the roots on its chest and its front are gnarled. And you see this, much like the world tree, is corrupted. This is the fate of you. The world tree continues to deteriorate as it turns to you. Message me, message me, message me, message God, message me, for God, message.
Fire? Do you recognize me? Can you hear me?
Arms kind of stretch out a little bit. Message me, message me. Stop for no one. Mortals, no trust. Mortals, no trust. Mortals, no trust. Mortals, no trust.
You need to calm down.
It pushes its roots into the ground near it, and the true branches rise up, begin moving their way towards you. No. Mortals. Allowed.
I'm not a mortal. I'm a creature like you. You know who I am.
Message Mimir, Willoughby. Willoughby. Message. Secret. And its eyes grow.
Willoughby's going to... Can Willoughby get close enough to try to cast Lesser Restoration on them?
Yeah.
He's going to try to do that.
You cast it. And a momentary kind of green takes over the eyes, but the chest remains purple. You see the purple slowly starts teetering into the green again. Give it only just a moment of time. Willoughby? Willoughby?
It is me.
I am losing myself. I am poisoned. You must get a message. You see the green slowly fading, becoming purple. To Mimir.
All right.
All prophecies are dead. The fates and the Norns are gone. Fate no longer exists. Destiny is unbound. And the purple fades back. And it produces a fire in its hand. Message, Mimir, message, destroy. And it goes to hurl a fire at you. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
Ooh, spicy.
Poor guy.
Oh,
God.
poor Briar.
And there you go. There's episode 10 of
Good
Mystified.
job, Joe.
Thanks. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for playing.
Good shit.
Great roleplay today.
Spicy.
Yeah, and we'll pick up next week with whatever you intend to do with the Kavista. He's pretty heavily corrupted, so.
If you could change your fate,
Yeah.
would you?
Well, there you go. Something to pursue.
That's cool.
So,
Oof.
No more fate, but what we
no more
make.
fate.
Is that the Terminator quote? Terminator 2 quote.
Maybe?
Which one?
It's like Terminator 2. It's like there's no fate but what we make, or something like that. Sarah Connor. I don't know.
Hey,
I'm tired.
I got
I don't
to
remember.
split pretty quick
Okay.
Yeah.
tonight, so I'm going to get my shout out under
good.
the way.
Oh, yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I know that son of a bitch. He's knocked all my cameras out of whack as well, the little shit.
I was gonna say, yeah, wait.
What did
Son of a bitch. All right, we'll go on doing the shout-outs. You can see everyone on the screen still, so that works. Mark, do you want to start? Son of a gun.
Yeah, like just Sherlock_Humes. I'm sorry for being really tired. I'm not very well tonight, but it was thanks for doing the game, Joe. Unfortunately, I'm away again next week because it's LARP again. I'm sorry. I want to be here for episodes.
It's fine. Summer busy.
Thanks.
We've got you during the winter.
Like, a lot of stuff came in that I didn't think was going to happen, but Sherlock Humes, Sherlock_Humes on Twitter, Sherlock Humes, High Rolls D&D. It's on before Godforged on Sundays. Come and watch it. It's a good time. Then watch Godforged because that's also a good time. I watch Godforged now. I basically come home and put Godforged on.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Yeah, it's nice. It's been really fun watching you guys do some really fucking crazy combat and stuff as well. So it's been really cool. That's it. That's me done.
Appreciate it, pal. Much love. OG, you have to lean to your left a little bit. No, you're. Oh wait, no, because your camera's mirrored. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, do you mean to my right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm definitely just doing like this all the time. What's up? I hope I fit in the. Yeah, no, looks like I fit okay. All right, this is my shout out. I've squeezed myself into a tiny little box. Now you know what it would look like if I'm in a tiny little box. I'm OLG. Go check out my Twitter. I talk about shows and movies that everyone else has seen years ago, and I'm just discovering them now, and then I bitch about them. That's pretty much my whole deal. So if you like that, check it out.
Strong.
Yeah, we all gotta have a niche, man. That's me being old.
Brizzy.
Hey, Brizzy voices on all the things. I'll be at Comic-Con tomorrow if you want to say hi. I'm just gonna be walking around outside in a Punchline cosplay from DC. So
awesome.
if you Google her, just look around for that bitch. Be like, yo.
I hope someone goes up to the wrong person. It's like, oh, it's that bitch. And they're like,
she's not very well known because she's just in the comics. So I don't even know if I'll see another cosplayer of her, but maybe.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds cool. Tell me how it is. Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe James Games across the internet. Go check out the show IDM on Rooster Teeth D&D Butt. You can find it on all podcast channels. You can find it on YouTube. The Rooster Teeth cast says some weird shit that I was never prepared for. I threw out a lot of my notes. I ended up a weird hybrid of Gollum, and it gets greatly bad.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. For me, you can find me on this channel Sunday, just after High Rollers, as Mark said. I run a game called Godforge, 8:30 p.m. BST. So if you want to come and spend your Sunday with us, watch High Rollers, take a little break, and then come watch us. This Sunday, they are currently in Phlegethos, the fourth layer of hell, and they are suing a devil. Yeah. So it's going to be a really fun episode.
Did you say suing?
Yeah, we're suing a devil, and we just walked into a casino. Hell is great so far.
Nice. Yeah.
We're having the fun Diabolical Courts this Sunday, so tune in for that.
Gonna go great.
Otherwise, there's a Discord you can post in the art or talk about the episodes, and a Patreon if you want to see anything behind the scenes. So thanks everyone for playing as per usual. We'll be back next week. So we'll see you then, and much love to you all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.